try it now.
Yes, somebody in the chat's going, must be having technical difficulties.
All right. We got it. We got it up. All right, let me make sure this is up. Everybody can see it. Yeah, because usually I'm on time, and I apologize, you guys. All right, so I'm getting the thing that says I'm live, but oh, it has the old what's it called? The old thumbnail on it. I need to fix that, guys. Whoopsie. All right. Good thing I have one ready for you. Let's yeah. Okay. Yeah. There we go. That looks right. Hit done. Save. All right. Did you just give my video a like? Was that you?
Is that me?
I don't know. I'm wondering. I guess what I can do is go to the other live stream, the one that everybody's on. Let me cancel this.
Yeah. Do I need to show my face on here or?
No, I have your icon. Your icon's on there. You're good. You're the one that I sent to you.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to give them this link. Let's go to YouTube. Nope, not that one. This one. Okay, there's two people on. There's two people watching this one. Cancel this. Yeah. All right, let me share this link to everybody. Coke Benny made it. I gotta make sure everybody else makes it now. All right, let's send the link. Paste that. That's the link to the actual video. Hopefully you guys will make it on over here. All right. Yeah, sorry about that, you guys. Had a little bit of technical difficulties, but, you know, I got it figured out. I have a special guest with me. His name is Hank Russell from the Hank Russell... Oh, gosh, what's the name of your show again? I'm so sorry. I feel so unprofessional right now. The Invitation. No, the Hank Russell Invitation. Sorry, my brain had a brain fart there.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stream, sir.
Well, thank you, and and you know what, I enjoy the night owl. What word am I saying? I'm getting tongue tied now.
It's fine.
Night owl hours on podcasting. This is what I used to do when I was in the radio business, so this is right up my alley. The only problem was I was in my mid-30s at the time, so now I'm getting older, and I'm like, can I do these night owl hours anymore? So we're gonna find out here in the next hour or two.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, man, these live streams, they just kind of go wherever they go. I have, you know, the chat that comes in, which I don't have on stream, which I need to fix that. Jeez, man, like because I had to create a whole nother live stream, like everything that I did for the last one is completely gone. So let me fix that real quick, you guys.
Yeah. And I see y'all in the chat. Hello, Coke Benny.
Yeah, he's been there for pretty much all the live streams that I've been doing on this little Fresh and Fit arc that I'm on, and you know, it's gonna eventually evolve into chatting about other people and, you know, possibly dropping more info on the book and everything. So,
well, Benny, I wish you were there when I was still in radio.
Oh, if you want to, I guess, talk a little bit about your whole experience with Fresh and Fit, because that's kind of why the main reason why I have you on here, because you got to meet them.
Yes, I did. I met them I've met them in Nashville. And as a matter of fact, I wanted to make an announcement that I actually, Walter reached out to me after I reached out to him recently through a mutual friend of ours. So that was the surprise I wanted to give you when I talked to you on this live stream. I didn't even tell you this in private.
Oh, wow.
But so I met them in Nashville years ago. You know, well, it hadn't been that long. It's about maybe 2 years ago now. Let's see, because you and I have been talking for like the past 4 or 5 months now. And anyway, and so when I talked to those guys, you know, there was just kind of this, I don't know, this nerdy, almost like I'm trying to be overly alpha male, but I can't get past the fact that I was a nerd type vibe to them, and how, you know, how rude they were to people and stuff like that. And then just kind of very selective about who they talked to and everything like that. And I mean, they talked to me for a sec, so I was okay with it. But then again, I was a grown, but then again, I was 39, 40 years old. I'm like, you better talk to me. I'm not one of these kids out here. So
what did they talk to you guys about?
they just basically just what it was is that there was this, it was kind of like a meet and greet thing, and they had like catering and stuff like that with a bunch of fruit and cheeses and deli meats, all the stereotypical things like that. And then they talked to you for a few minutes and had a small Q&A, and they mentioned that they were going to come out and mingle and stuff, let everybody talk to everybody, and they did and they didn't. And they were very dismissive towards a lot of people, and then they weren't. It was just, oh, excuse me, but it was just insane how, I don't know, you had a crowd of maybe like, I don't know, maybe 120 people, something like that. And that's not a bad crowd for a podcast. I don't care how famous your podcast is, that's not a bad crowd. And a lot of people felt very neglected by it. So
How long were they out there talking to people?
well, when they were in front of the crowd, they were talking to them for maybe 20, 30 minutes. When they were walking around, I'd say it lasted about an hour. It's just kind of like everybody's going towards the food table, getting catering and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden they have, then all of a sudden, like, people are trying to walk up to them, which I get it. They're the guest of honor, so they're going to get bum rushed. But I've been around enough celebrities in my life. I mean, I've met some huge celebrities in my day, and I have seen them handle it way more than a couple of, podcasters who are, quasi famous and didn't even know how to handle it properly or talk to people properly. And, it just really irritated me, man, because we can agree on some of the things they say, but you and I have, and we'll get more into that a little bit, but you can't just, I mean, I wish I had a better, more complex answer than you need to treat people better.
Well, I would probably say at a certain level, you get to a certain level of notoriety and you kind of big up yourself in your own head. So you kind of live in your own little bubble because you think that, you're on the forefront of whatever you're talking about and everybody else is imitating you. And they have evidence of that. So they think that they're the ones that are, leading the front, and they have all these followers are, commending them on, leading from the front. And, I guess it does kind of a number on your psyche. You think that you can't do no wrong, and the people that disagree with you, they don't matter. And or people that are that do disagree with you, they're just trying to get some clout for themselves, or they're trying to just get a clippable moment. That's kind of the thing that Myron's been saying lately on all of these little X spaces that he gets kicked out of. He'll be in like a white supremacist, like whites only group, and he'll be saying his piece, and they'll be like, well, we kind of we kind of want this place for ourselves and stuff, and we're going to want you to go back to your country. And they got, and Myron, he'll just take it up as like, oh, you're just trying to get a clippable moment. You don't really mean that. You're like, bro, get some self-awareness, bro. But yeah.
I mean, part of it, okay, and part of it is that they're new celebrities, right?
Sure.
These guys, okay, I'm 41 years old, and the thing about it is that I've done radio stuff like that since I was like a kid. I'm talking like, I mean, I'm not like a child, but since I was a teenager, and part, since I was a teenager, and part of it is that you can't just, you have to kind of ease into things. Like these guys got it so quickly. 2000 and December 2020, I think it was, is when November is when they started this podcast. Here we are, what, 3 years later? They're the biggest thing since sliced bread on the men podcasting dating world.
You'd be surprised, man. There's a lot of people who have never heard of Fresh and Fit.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, 1 million. They got what, 1.5 million followers. That's that's a good amount for a podcast. That's a career.
Sure.
But there's 300 million plus people in this country. So yeah, you're right. A lot of people haven't heard of them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just okay. I'll use myself an example. I was in radio, and I've met a lot of people, and I met a lot of celebrities. And things didn't come to me quick though, because obviously I'm still not rich, and I'm not famous, but things kind of came to me a little bit more slowly, a little bit more methodical. And I think that was a good thing, because I still enjoy this. Like, the fact that I do a video podcast now, and I reached out to you, and like I'm still hungry for it. These guys have this meteoric rise, and they're losing their edge now. I mean, am I the only one that's crazy?
I think what happens to a lot of people in the YouTube space is that they set a bar that's almost too high for them, or in terms of like being edgy, and then now they have to maintain that edginess. And it's unfortunate because they've gone, so far to the right now in terms of, well, at least Myron driving the show, he's gone so far to the right that now he's isolated his audience that he's first started with. So all of that audience that he started with when, Kevin Samuels was still alive and, he were doing, over 1 million views per video and stuff. It was,
Yes.
they were at the peak, when it was just focused on, male and female dynamics and, having, special guests on that had something to contribute to the conversation, or, help men, get money and stuff, or, work out with fitness and just anything in terms of like making more money, being more successful and being more, attractive to the opposite sex. But then also getting that female portion where, most men we don't really get to see. It's kind of being able to see behind the curtain. But now it's just evolved into like a Jerry Springer-esque like show on YouTube that everybody just waits to see like what is the next viral moment that's going to happen. And we're actually going to talk about a few of those moments most recently. But that's kind of what it's devolved into, is that you just want to see people crash out. We want to see people get kicked off the show, and we want to see these guys just say the most, well, I don't really want them to say the most racist things possible, but when it happens, and then it's just getting to a point where like that's the only thing why people still watch. And we don't even watch the show like when it's on YouTube. We just watch the highlights on Reddit. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
So
I admit the last, I'd say the past maybe 8-9 months, I haven't watched one of their shows. I've just watched their short clips and stuff like that. But that's what they do. That's. I mean, I used to watch it from start to finish, but now I watch it because that's where their big key points are, and they say outrageous things during their key points. So it's not like it's not like the world is against them on it. They're doing it to themselves.
Yeah, they can no longer say that we clip them out of context, because most of the times if you just drop that context right back into the main video, it's just like, no, we just caught you slipping. That's all that really was. What's up, Coke Benny? What's up, Sonic? What's up, Kavos? Let's go. I for a moment I had a little bit of an elderly moment there with the first stream, so I'm sorry for leading you guys to a dead end, but I appreciate you guys following me over. But let's go. Let's see. What's up, Camp? What's up, folks? Sonic, and let's see. What's up, Sonic? Their downfall started after the whole Aber and Preach beef. I remember it well. I remember the Donkey Kong icons. I remember the monkey noises. I think it was Myron talking about Preach's wife, who wasn't really his actual wife, and then of course the videos from Aber and Preach just started flowing, and they just couldn't handle how much, I guess, views that they were getting, and they had so much of a bit. Oh well, Fresh and Fit had such a big head about themselves, thinking that we're gonna lap you guys. You guys might have more time in, but our videos get more views, and you don't make any views unless you talk about us. And it all seemed to backfire, because the more Myron got more and more unhinged, it's like the more they lost. So.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
And what's unfortunate about the whole situation, especially Fresh, because Fresh, he's always kind of been the yes man of just kind of just kind of throwing in his little ad libs and stuff like that. But as of recently, he's been trying to tell Myron, subconsciously, hey, we shouldn't have gone this far. We shouldn't have delved into the alt-right space, talking about JQ and all this other stuff, and being racist to black women and black people in general, and generalizing and stuff. It's like, what they don't understand, well, I guess what Myron doesn't understand is like he didn't understand his audience. You know, he left one audience for another, and even the people that I guess are now tuning in, they don't know anything about, you know, what happened before, how they started out. They're just like, well, you know, this guy's really radical, and you know, he has all these views about foundational Black Americans that, you know, I didn't see this coming from him, you know, but now that he's actually, you know, he's just standing 10 toes down on how he feels about these people. It really is, it's really something that it's like a car crash, you know, that you know is going to happen, or a train wreck. You see two trains, you know, driving towards each other. It's like, you just want to sit and watch now, you know, because it's just like, I don't think they're going to last. And I think it's like watching a house on fire. It's like, eventually it's just going to tumble down and that'll be it. You know, there won't be anything else to see. And I think in the form of the internet, it's just going to be more platforms completely like banning them, like not even giving them an opportunity to even work for free. It's like, no, you can't even have your stuff on here anymore because, you know, we don't want it.
Yeah. Well, one of the biggest things that they did from a marketing standpoint is that when you're going to change your format, you know, you got to explain that to the audience so that word can go around about it. You know, he was, you know, first of all, you know, they have always done like the dating and women and business and stuff like that, but they always formed for like a hip hop crowd. And it doesn't make sense when you start making like bigotry comments or racist comments. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, wait a second, you know, your primary audience was African American, and, you know, younger Black men or whatever. And now all of a sudden you're turning into this show that's alienating that side of the audience, and people are going to talk, you know?
Right. And honestly, I think Myron sees the negative views, I guess the negative videos that people make of them as like free advertising. And it's not, you know, because the people that are making videos on you, some of them are monetized, so they're getting paid to shit on you. You know, and you see that somehow as a W, when really that's not the case at all. It's just, you know, you got Auburn Preach over here, you know, making like all these videos and stuff, and you know, sometimes they don't even make videos about them. They'll make a video about someone else, but then that person is good friends with Fresh and Fit, so then that kind of drags them back in. They're like, look, we didn't mean to make a Fresh and Fit video, but here we are, we're making another one. And you know, these guys, they're not Auburn Preach, they're not coming from a standpoint of, we have views that we can put out there to help men and change them for the better. No, they're just here to entertain, you know? Yeah, and that's why they can still make money.
Yeah, and that's exactly why they've been able to make money, is that they know how to, I mean, I think that Myron is very strategic about it. I think that he does kind of, at least at first he was, you know, he brings in like, you know, the kickouts, or he has the kickouts with the girls and stuff like that. It draws in, guys are still watching, then they sell the product. Because you can't, if anybody who saw that Jubilee video with the fat versus fit, you know, fit guys sort of thing, don't realize, man, that, you know, if anybody who truly acts that way towards an opposition, you know, even when the conversation's over, is a lunatic. So I think he's doing that on purpose.
I think so. I think, you know, Myron, he'll say whatever to get a reaction. And even when it's in person, I think he knows that he can size a room up and know that, oh, if it's majority women, I know that I could, if any of these women try to step to me, like I could beat all of them up. It wouldn't be an issue. But especially on the fat versus fit, he knew that, you know, he's not going to have any issues with the people that were on the fit side, and all the people on the fat side. I'm pretty sure he didn't have any issue. He didn't think that, you know, there would be any physical altercations and stuff that he couldn't handle. So of course he feels comfortable being able to just shit on people to their face and not worry about the repercussions. But even on a Twitter space, he even has he's even more unhinged, which, you know, we have some clips that I wanted to show you guys about that. But yeah, it's just like, it just seems that Myron can't be monitored when he's by himself, like when he's on a Twitter space or when he is even when he's on the show. I don't think he's monitored at all. Like it's just moderated. I think that, you know, Fresh, he can't really do anything to stop Myron from what he's doing. He's steering, Myron is steering the ship. That's just what it is. So if it goes down, there's nothing Fresh can do to save it. We know that. But yeah, Coke Benny says, I stopped watching them after they started prioritizing Twitch over Rumble. And then Sonic says, they had better views on Rumble, but they don't pay as well. That's very true. It's almost like pennies on the dollar compared to Rumble and YouTube. And, you know, that's only because, you know, Rumble is still a very young site. They don't have like the advertisers like YouTube does. And that's kind of what puts them in their position where they can allow this type of speech.
Not to mention that they are in the middle of a, you know, beginning stages of like a lawsuit or something like that from the liberal media trying to censor them out anyway. So they're going to have their struggles right now until they are able to give full command or full speed ahead on what it is that they're doing. So
the moment they do, the moment they get their advertisers and stuff, it's just going to be another YouTube, you know, because advertisers don't want alt-right content. And I think that's happening with the Kick platform right now. They're not allowing anybody that's doing alt-right content. I think they just recently they did a whole change with that in terms of their terms of service. So they're almost kind of like a second Twitch right now. Yeah. And so now Rumble is the only place in town that allows you to truly have free speech and not have to worry about getting canceled.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I watched the Bongino show on Rumble, you know, during the election and stuff like that, because I was watching like 5 different platforms. And yeah, absolutely. And, you know, they should have, you know, I don't want to say you had to throw away your beliefs or whatever, but they needed to calm down a little bit on YouTube until they were able to kind of spring their ideas, you know, on Rumble and still get monetized and paid for it, which right now, I don't know how are they making money off of this now? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Or I'm sure they're not making the same amount of money, but are they still doing it based on the programs? Because they lost their monetization rights on YouTube.
From what I understand, they have FNF Super Chat, which is like their own little website where you can donate. It's like a donation link. And then they also have the Rumble Rants, and I want to say through Castle Club, there's probably another one, how they get money. But I mean, shit, I wouldn't be surprised if they have a Cash App or a PayPal link eventually, because eventually, man, like these places are going to probably take away their monetization or their way to get money and stuff. So it wouldn't be a bad idea.
As well as they should, depending on the context. You know, I believe in freedom of speech 100% through and through. But if you know that you're going to break guidelines and you break those guidelines intentionally, as smart as Myron says he is, then you deserve to have your ass kicked off.
Well, I mean, he'll always see it that it was a Matrix attack. That's how he'll see it. He'd be like, yeah, they're trying to silence the truth, man. When really it's just like, no, you just broke terms of service, man. Simple as that. And I think Myron has, you know, the other people around him to kind of like let him know, like, oh, well, you know, it was a racial slur that you did, or, you know, it was that word that you're not supposed to say on Twitch, you know, and which, you know, they updated. I think on Twitch, you can't say, what was that word? It's not simp. What's the one? Yeah. What's the other one? There's you can't say, oh, incel. Incel's one, and there's another one.
Yeah, I think Sonic talked about this. As a matter of fact, I listened to Sonic, and I think he talked about this too.
Yes.
Maybe somebody.
Oh gosh, it has to. My brain, Sonic, dude.
Sonic, give us a hand on the chat, man.
Yeah, I know he knows it. Abba said he was able to buy his mom a house because of all the Fresh and Fit videos. I saw them to say that, dude. You know, hey man, it's a beautiful thing to be able to take care of your parents and stuff. And you know, who cares how you got the money, man? You're able to take care of your parents, man. And I mean, it's through his efforts. So good on him. David A says, just like you said, a mannequin and cover it with a bin layer. That's fresh all over. He contributes nothing. Yeah. I mean, he's the money, unfortunately. That's why he put his name first. That was strategic on his part, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he's better at the social media side of things. As far as the actual content, that's pretty much every bit of Myron.
Well, let me ask you this: does Fresh belong in front of the camera, or does he belong behind the scenes?
I think he belongs in front of the camera, if they wanted to make their social media grow, because I don't think that you could grow the social, or I don't think he has the capability to grow his social media behind the camera and strictly behind the camera without having to, you know, be on camera to promote and put himself out there. Because I mean, I don't know what the value is he brings in it, but people see it, and that's why he's on camera, and that's why he has, he's got the bigger social media, personal social media, as far as like followers and stuff like that, than Myron did at first.
Well, I have a theory about that. Does he? Do you think he bots his streams? Do you think he buys followers?
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. I'm
because that's a thing, and I'm pretty sure that in terms of like just his social media following when it comes to Twitch. Oh shit, there's an echo there. The whole Twitch and also his YouTube, like the IRL streams, whatever. I don't think that there are that many people really truly watching that. I think that he paid to bot his streams, which I think I mentioned this on a previous live stream that Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, they are all implementing a rule where you cannot bot your streams. If you're caught doing that, it's a bannable offense.
Yes, well, that, and and even if it's not bannable, if they find out previous and they give you a warning, you won't get monetized anyway.
Right. Yeah. Well, okay. So Sonic said, "Oh wait, hold on. I can't remember the." Sonic says, "I can't remember the term. Let me think." And Lava says, "Everything is behind the scenes with Fresh." Yeah, everything should be behind the scenes. Because it's just one of those nebulous terms that I do so much, I can't even tell you what I do. I do so much.
Right.
And then Sonic's like, I don't think I ever talked about the banned terms on Twitch, did I? Well, it was the, gosh, I don't know why I can't think of it right now. It was the, you know what? It was, God, what is that term for Jewish people? No.
Are we talking? All right. So are we talking Sheeny?
No. Okay. This was on, at TwitchCon, they had the people that were on stage. What's that?
I was going to say, excuse my language out there if anybody heard that, but I just didn't know I don't know if that's like an offensive word or not, but I know it is a Jewish slur.
It wasn't a slur, but it is considered a slur on Twitch, but I don't think it's a slur in like real life. I think it's just like their terms of service. You can't say it. Man, that's going to bug the shit out of me if I can't think of it right now. It was...
It doesn't start with a K, right?
No. It starts with an E, I think. For some reason, it's on the top of my... I think it's E.
I don't know.
Shit.
Well,
I almost want to go to that video. Sabra. Sabra? Is it Sabra? Is it Sabra?
I don't know.
Sabra. It's... No, it was... Damn it, dude. That's really going to bug me now. It was... Go ahead.
I'm friends with Renee Ritchie's girlfriend. And if you know who Renee Ritchie is, he's one of the guys that does the... is the one who monitors what goes on YouTube, right? Like, he was one of the ones involved in kicking off Fresh and Fit. I went up to Boston.
Really?
I'm friends. Yeah. If you go, I do my streaming platform through Ecamm.
Mm-hmm.
Ecamm is led by these guys that do it every year in northern Massachusetts, Amesbury. And so, anyway, the last Renee Ritchie's girlfriend, and I've met Renee Ritchie's girlfriend a couple of times, and I was on her team last year, not this past year. the guy, and he's the guy I need to talk to about stuff like this, because I could get his number and call him anytime if I wanted to, but it's they're not playing about this stuff. And even if it's words like, you've heard the expression that ignorance is no excuse, right? Or ignorance of the law is no excuse. That's how they are on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know the rules until you break them, pretty much.
Exactly.
Okay. I just had to go ahead and Google it because I'm just like, this is going to bug the hell out of me. We can't move forward until I get this list. So
yeah, I figured I'd talk while you would look that up too.
So right now what they have is simp, incel, and virgin. But now they have discriminatory words. Where are those?
Incel. I never heard that term.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've heard of the term, but now it's like you can't call somebody an incel on Twitch. You can't call somebody a virgin. Like, what if they really are a virgin? But they say it's all in the context of how you say it. So if you say, "Oh, the reason why you guys are hating on me is because you're virgins," you could get banned for that. But if you're just like, so I'm talking to Susie right now. She just turned 18. She is still a virgin, and she wants to know, so and so like that. If you, I don't think you'll get banned if you say it in those terms. But like when you just like use it as an insult, yeah, that's what makes it. This is not an updated list, unfortunately. Words are banned on Twitch. God, it's not here.
This is ridiculous.
Why?
Because why would, okay, incel, yes, I've heard the term incel, but I thought it was like a slang term that you couldn't use. Now you're saying you can't even say virgin, which we know what the word virgin means, and it's apparently offensive if you call somebody a virgin.
Yeah. Oh man,
what a clown world we live in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, YouTube, if you get offended by me saying that, but that's weird. That's weird.
You know, I think it's just a bunch of snowflakes, man, getting hurt online, bro. These people, they didn't have tough enough lives, man. They were sheltered their whole lives, and now they're getting online. They realize, wow, it's the wild, wild west out here, man. People are just saying whatever just to get a reaction out of you, you know? When it's like, look, man, if you want to get offended, get offended. Sometimes, most of the time, I wasn't even meaning it towards you. I was just saying it in general, you know? But
yeah, no, it's, you know, and that's just what I'm saying. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a heart and a sensitive side too, but do I really cringe up when somebody says something messed up towards me?
Okay, I got the word. I found it. Zionist. Zionist. You cannot say Zionist on Twitch now.
What is a Zionist? And wait a second. I thought Elon corrected all that too. So go ahead.
Well, as of November 15th, the platform announced that the change in the blog post, writing that using the term Zionist to attack or demean another individual or group of people on the basis of their background or religious belief is against the rules. So yeah, that was the word, Zionist. Oh, we can move forward with the show now. That was gonna bug the crap out of me, dude, because I was like, yeah, you can't say that. You can't say Zionist. I guess you got to choose some other word. Globalist, maybe.
Brother Camp, you can't let stuff like that bother you too much, but I understand.
Well, no, it's just, you know, when you have the facts on the tip of your tongue, but you can't say it because it's just like, well, you're on screen now, so you gotta, you know, do you want to buy a vowel? You know, it's like one of those type of deals. But you know, we can move forward now. We got it. But yeah, Sabra, I think that was I don't know if Sabra was the word, but it was definitely Zionist. That was the one I was thinking about. But yeah, like I said, in the same way of using virgin or incel, if you use it as an insult to insult somebody, then yes, you'll get banned. But I think if you're just like using it not to demean somebody, but you're just, I don't know how you would use these words in a sentence, you know, where, I mean, there are ways, but I'm just saying, like,
well, it's weird when you have a conversation and you're just talking amongst each other and things just kind of come out while you're in the middle of conversation.
Sure.
And it's like, you know, that's what's wrong with this country. You know, you can't comfortably have a conversation with somebody.
Well, what they will say about that is the social media platforms, they are privately owned, so they can run it however they want. It's their own personal USSR, you know, if they wanted. But
I will say, well, I'll say this several times. Just because you cut the ears off a basset hound, don't make it a pit bull. Okay. I mean, you just don't. That's ridiculous.
Sure. Okay, so I guess we've got a couple of people in here now, so I guess we can go ahead and start the show. That was a nice little intro. The first video I want to talk about is, I guess, the most recent stuff that happened on Fresh and Fit, which was they kicked out this woman of color, black girl, and I'm sure you've probably seen clips of it. But what it is basically, she was kind of she was going back and forth with another woman that was on there. I think she was a white woman, possibly Jewish, and I think it came out later that she was Jewish, but during the time, I think she just looked at her as just a white woman. She was basically having the whole idea that, Fresh and Fit are letting all these girls speak, whatever, and then the moment that she speaks, they tell her to shut up and all this stuff. Well, a fight ended up erupting out of that, and she ended up getting up, and I guess she got in Myron's face, and of course, Myron, he knows that, it's a stand your ground state in state of Florida, so, if you hit me, I can do whatever I want because you're in my house. But no, of course, he knew that he was on camera, so he didn't want to, of course, do anything, and it just kind of escalated. That somebody caught it all on video, and I think they had getting her back to the elevator. And the woman, which was very interesting about her, is that she kind of has similar views towards like Myron. Like, okay, so she said on her, I think it was on her Twitter, that she's like a female Uncle Ruckus. Like, she hates black people. She's all this stuff. And then it was almost just like, wow, it's kind of weird how like you and Myron clashed of all people, because you guys have like kind of similar, ideals. But I guess when it comes to it, on the surface, Myron is always going to kind of give, women of the fairer skin a little bit more grace than, the African American descent. So,
and I can agree with that. Hey, while you're showing this clip, I'm going to use the restroom real quick.
That's fine. So okay. Sonic says, doesn't stand your ground only apply if you're not provoking the person? Because that's what Myron was doing the whole time. That's a good point. And that's the problem. It was all on tape. So, he can't say what it was completely unprovoked, because obviously, the show was running for a while, and it was just, it was a boiling point situation. So yeah, of course it was going to eventually, I think he was trying to get her to have a moment, because I don't think that people will talk about them unless they have these type of crash out moments. So yeah, I think there was a little bit of that, a little bit of antagonizing to get the clip, and also Myron having those type of views towards black women. Coke Benny says Auntie Ruckus. That's a good one. But it was even in the what's it called, the Twitter thing that she said that she hates black people. She thinks that she's like I know that I'm going to eventually marry a white man and all this stuff. She just like, but at the same time, in the same breath, she's like, I'm a one of one type of woman. I'm not like all these other black girls. Da 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 da. And it just, I don't know. People at first felt sorry for her because of the way Myron treated her, but then when the more information came out about how she really felt about black people, it was people started to feel less sorry for her. So David said, let's discuss the elephant in the room. Fresh, aka Walter. He's fake and hires cars and uses sex escorts. He keeps taking L's for fun. I think that's the only way that Fresh can actually contribute to the show in terms of people spreading the show and talking about it. Like, he has to get into these situations where, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good that he got Daisy Fit Jen pregnant. Doesn't look good that he kissed her and said he loved her and then brought her to the mom's house and stuff, and just was like, he paid was it $15,000 for a necklace and stuff. was a necklace or a bracelet. Basically, we're talking about how Fresh takes L's in order to keep them relevant. You know, like Myron, he has his views and he has his clippable moments and stuff. But the only way Fresh can really kind of like get people to talk about the show on his end, he has to have controversy.
Well, you know, and I was listening. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was listening, especially the part with Daisy Chin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't truly know if we'll know the full story behind that, because I don't trust her, and I don't trust him either. You know, I think that there is a clout chasing ability on his part, and of course, this girl who, you know, has the most broken English out of any girl that he's probably ever dated, has got this Western world mindset. You know, I mean, from the way she dresses, from what she, you know, takes pictures behind the background and stuff like that. So it's hard for me to trust either one. It really is. So,
well, I mean, we can, I guess the evidence has come forward that she was pregnant, but she was not forward with the abortion and when she had it, which is, in my mind, that doesn't change the fact that Fresh was reckless with his escapades. You know, he basically just busting into her every night, no condom. You know, she let him know, like, hey, I'm not on birth control, so if things go down, I'm keeping it. You know, and you know, Fresh was just like, hey, I dodged a bullet this time. They had 2 pregnancy scares in 17 days of knowing each other. I mean, what does that tell you? This guy, we need to like snip his whole balls off, bro, because damn, bro.
I was about to say, hold his legs. We're gonna give him a vasectomy.
I mean, I think it would be good for mankind, because I mean, do we need another Walter walking around here, a little baby one, a little baby pug?
I will clearly say no, and this is coming from the fact that I've talked to the guy, and you know, it's just, you know, I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. I've been doing radio and broadcasting for most of my life. But the thing about it is that there's not like some stoop low that I will do just to get, you know, the attention that I deserve in the first place. It's not going to happen, you know? So.
Well, maybe, I guess get a couple millions of dollars or whatever and let it go to your head. And maybe you'll realize, oh, this is the way to do it. I need to just be controversial. I need to be outlandish.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think negativity sells. I think people care more about negativity than people that are just trying to improve the world, you know?
I agree. Yeah, I agree as far as like what your goals are, you know? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's, if you're doing like real estate or dentistry or being a doctor or veterinarian or something like that, controversy is not going to get you where you want to be. And quite frankly, people like that don't want that type of attention anyway. They're there because they're public servants. Maybe not the real estate guys as much, because that's what Fresh and Fit claim they do.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That's a whole different topic as far as their real estate. But as far as like attention seekers, yeah, you can't trust somebody that will do anything to obtain their objective.
I mean, there's 2 types of people in the world, man. People that make money silently and are silently rich, and people that make money and are rich and they're just like, oh, I got to top myself because I got to keep this thing going, you know, because this is how I got rich, was being crazy. So I would choose the former, man. I'd rather be silently rich. I'd rather just, you know, do my thing and not let anybody know I have money, because then, you know, it's like nobody's going to really be coming after you, because they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to tear down this guy. He's just like me, you know? And I honestly think that's kind of how Abba and Preach have like their appeal, and why they're so successful, because they're not, in terms of like quality of their stream and stuff like that, they have good audio, they have good lighting and stuff, but like there's no like, it's not like a crazy showmanship on their show. It's just 2 guys in front of a mic, in front of a camera, and they just hit play and they just talk, you know? Whereas like Fresh and Fit, oh, they got to have the sound effects, they got to have the lighting, they got to have like, you know, all these little things going on in the screen or whatever. And if anything, it's just like, yeah, these guys are trying hard, where they're not, you know, Fresh and Fit, they're not that successful in terms of like, well, they screw themselves because of the way they shoot themselves in the foot, but they try so hard Whereas like Ob and Preach, they don't try as hard. They just do entertainment, reaction content, and they're more successful because I would say they're more relatable, you know?
Yes.
Whereas, you know, I think Fresh and Fit, they just alienate people.
Right. And yeah, I get it. And don't get me wrong. I mean, like you said, controversy creates dollars, but and I'm not gonna lie to you, there's a side of me that says that I would want to say some controversial things. But that being said, I don't want it to dominate on Abba Preach's show like every other week there for a while. I mean, it was like every other day almost they were on their show on Abba Preach, and quite frankly, you know, you know, I don't think how to explain it. You can only, you know, there's only so much bad press that one person can take before it will destroy your career. Promise you, it will.
And that's kind of what's happening to David Cooley right now. He's getting a lot of backlash over a clip that happened on TikTok of just like a podcast that he did. It wasn't a podcast on his show. He went on another podcast, and you know, he was just talking about, you know, high value men and all this stuff, and what women are looking for. And then a woman just like flat out asked him, like, do you consider yourself a high value man? And then his response was, well, I'm 6'4", I'm black, I make, you know, over 6 figures and stuff. And then, you know, I was just like, and then it just kind of ended there. He's like, you do the math. And I was just like, well, 2 of those things that you listed, you couldn't help. It's like, I'm glad you're getting money, but the fact that you're black and tall, like, I don't see that as like, okay, you know, sure, women look for tall guys, and sure, there are women that like black guys, but like, you can't say that, hey, that's the reason why I'm a high value man. It's right. Like, you can't help that, man.
Yeah. You know, the reason why that I'm so intelligent is because I'm white and I'm tall. See, how does that sound coming from me just now? That sounded racist as hell.
Well, I mean, some people will be like, hey, that just means you got a better credit score than most people, you know, because you're white, you know, because you were born white. It's just like, yeah, dude, that's crazy, man. Real quick, Cabo said, Cam, do you think Fresh is the reason why they don't do call-in shows because of the whole Daisy controversy? Myron probably didn't want to have keep defending him on each and every call on the show. And then Coke May says, twink about Dish. You know, I think that Fresh is tired of having to answer to the whole Daisy thing and also the Miranda situation because people will not let it go. I do think that last call-in show they had where the guy was basically just grilling him saying, hey, you know, how does it feel as a man that you have all of your success because of the genius of Myron? And that
would be you, wouldn't it?
No. I didn't approach it like that. What the guy said, the last call that I guess it's kind of circulating now. It's kind of getting around. But it actually the call got cut short. I don't know if it was a technical issue or if Big Mo like hit the button and like didn't realize it, or he hit the button and did know it, but then he played it off and was like, oh, he dropped off or whatever. But yeah, it was just like the guy was saying that he was kind of glazing Myron a little bit, you know, saying that Myron's a genius and he basically made Fresh rich and Fresh owes his whole life to him. So why is Fresh speaking up against Myron, you know, and saying, oh, you know, we lost our platform because you wanted to bring certain controversial guests on. You wanted to talk about these things that are not family friendly, safe for YouTube. You know, it's like, of course, you know, in the reality, Fresh did not directly say this to Myron, but he was talking to the other guest about Myron, you know, like in the general sense. Basically, everybody that like had, you know, 2 brain cells knew what Fresh was doing. Because, you know, he'll never stand up to Myron. We know this. That's just kind of like, he knows his place.
He can stand up. He can stand up to him, but then he might, the value of the show might go down. Well, let me rephrase it. His quality of life will go down because Myron is the show.
Yeah. And, you know, he won't be able to lead with money anymore or, you know, rent his Lambos anymore. He'll have to downsize. And I don't know if he's ready for that, man. You know? I don't. He would have to self-improve, and I don't know, you know, being one half of a self-improvement podcast, I don't know if he's taken in any of the lessons from the last 3 years. So
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm reading this comment too. What does T-Twink about dish mean?
it's Fresh saying, think about this. It's his catchphrase.
Oh, yeah. I didn't. You know what, man? We got a very observant audience here. I didn't really. I've watched hundreds of episodes of Fresh and Fit, and I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, think about this is one of his catchphrases, and actually they added that catchphrase to their stream deck on the show. So whenever Fresh does say that, either Chris will hit it or Big Mo will hit that button. It's basically him, the audio version, him saying, "Think about this," and but yeah. It's one of his little things that has I guess penetrated the society. Everybody, whenever you say think about this, it's usually followed by coconuts in Barbados.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's just
yeah. Other than that, I think as far as the whole avoiding, ducking, calling shows, yeah, that's something that Fresh obviously cannot stand on his own with that without Myron coming to his defense. The last call-in show that happened, that did not happen. As soon as the guy started in on Fresh, Myron got up. He did this little head back on his head, like staring up at the ceiling or whatever. And then he just ended up getting up and was, behind the camera with Bills and Mo. And you could hear them all laughing, like behind the scenes when the guy would, flame Fresh and say something about him. And Fresh would just sit there all like arms crossed, had nothing to say. And they were just laughing at him. And Fresh, the only thing he can do is just like rephrase the question, So when the guy was like, why are you snaking Myron when it comes to being against his views and stuff? All Fresh would say in his responses, so you think I snake Myron? Like it was just like, or what else? The guy said like, oh yeah, like these things as far as you knocking up the escort, you simping for Miranda, these are things that you've done that basically go against the brand. Like Myron preaches about all this stuff on how to be a man, but then like you are like what he says to not be. He's like, so what do you think about that? And he's just like, with these lines of questions, I just find it really funny that you don't know what I do. And I was just like, bro. Like you didn't listen to any of that. You just basically had this like canned response that had nothing to do with this guy's like questions, and it just gave him no response. Like the guy for like it wasn't even like a 5-minute conversation. It was like just like he would have gotten more answers talking to a brick wall.
Right. Well, all right. I'm gonna see we use the word simp a lot. That's the word that we use a lot now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna talk I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm gonna talk Memphis talk real quick. What it is, what the biggest thing with his hypocrisy in this thing is that he may be a simp, but more than anything else, Fresh is a trick. But you know what the difference between him and everybody else is that he can afford to be. That's the only difference. He got the baddest looking Asian woman I've ever seen with the broken English and the sexy look and all that stuff, and yet there's not too many guys that probably could afford her, but he can't, and that are simps. Most of the guys that could afford her are real men. That being said, he's a trick who can afford it.
Well, as far as this past Halloween, she was spotted with AB, Antonio Brown, and he's like the current, he's the current interest with her, and he posted it and everything, and of course it circled around to Reddit. And what people were saying was like, man, that's kind of fucked up. I thought it was bros before hoes, but it looks like AB was just like, yeah, sorry, Fresh, it's my turn now.
So. Yeah, and I don't know what Antonio Brown's like. I know he's conservative, like Fresh is supposedly, but is he as big of a trick with her as anything?
I mean, he's got money, so I mean, I think it's really just going to the point where I can afford her for the evening,
Yeah. Which I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I mean, I've seen pictures of her. I follow her on Instagram because of Fresh. And I would never do that because I'm a good person with a level head. I don't believe in, earning a woman's love with money. But
Yeah, I mean, there are. I think when you lead with money, you're going to attract those type of girls that are just trying to get money. That's it, you know.
Oh,
And yeah, I mean, the most recent video that Fresh had with Paris Banks, the porn star, I guess I don't know. I guess he thought this was some type of W, like releasing this video because it ended up on Reddit, and it was like they just like finished like having sex in a hotel room, whatever. She was already dressed, getting ready to walk down the hallway and stuff. And I guess like she was going back to her place or something. He was going with her. And so, yeah, like she was on the podcast like that night, and, she was getting grilled by a couple of the guests that were on there, and they're like, oh, you're going to go ahead and do your city girl shit. And she's like, yeah, well, look, like if you want to be with me for an evening, it's like an easy $2 to $3 grand.
Oh, please.
So
I don't pay that much for used coochie, okay?
Well, not Myron, but Fresh has no problem, parting with that money in order to get the best he can get, Honestly, I mean,
I'm going to assume that because I know Sonic, he's younger than us, right?
I believe so.
Okay. Well, I'm going to assume the majority of the audience that's listening to this is younger than us. And I'm going to give you some advice, young audience out there. When you are paying for a woman to have sex with you, you know what you're doing? You're paying just to have sex. You're not getting any emotion. You're not getting any, arousal, really. You're not, a true arousal or anything like that. You're probably not going to get any foreplay because people who pay for it, generally the girl will not let you kiss her, hug her, lick her anywhere. So you know what you're doing when you pay that kind of money? You're paying for masturbation, only there's a human involved. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but Fresh will say that he doesn't pay for box, that he gets genuine burning desire, and that's something we can all learn from him for.
Oh yeah, well,
he's so smooth with the ladies, so.
Oh, about as smooth as a roll of sandpaper.
I mean, he's got the charisma, right? I mean, we see it.
Right.
He's oozing charisma, and the fact that he has money, that's just a bonus to these ladies, but they want him for him. That's what he'll say. She wants me for me. And
yeah, exactly.
That's a beautiful thing.
I'm telling you, Bernie Mac said it best. Being poor will find you the woman that you need, and being rich will find you the woman that you want. Okay. And we all know that in life, whether you're Buddhist, Christian, Mormon, any what's another one? Muslim, any of them, they will always tell you that you are supposed to fulfill you're supposed to be fulfilled with your needs more than your wants, because your needs will make you happy, and your needs will make you a better person. Your wants will sometimes always put you in a negative position that you don't want to be in. Like if I'm a billionaire and I pay for the most gorgeous woman in the world, but she ain't shit. And that's why I said that's the best. I don't care if he's a comedian or not. That's the best advice I ever heard when it comes to a woman, is that, being poor will find you the woman that you need, and being rich will find you the woman that you want.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you're at your lowest point, and I think if a woman will stay with you during your lowest point until you make it out of that, I think that's a solid woman. But, there's women that just don't have the patience or the time for that, like they want to choose the winner at the, at the end of the finish line. They don't want to build with anybody. And I don't think that's the right mindset to have, because I think, especially in Miami, that's kind of what these guys put out, is that, you have to have your fitness on point. You got to have your money on point. You got to have your social media accounts on point. Yep. And it's just like, yeah, if you want to have a gold digger, if you want to have a girl that's only on the surface, that's not really going to be of any substance, that's going to, be there when you're sick, or, or if you lose it all, that she'll still be there and stuff like that. You're not going to get that genuine, compatibility partner that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. It's going to be someone who's going to be there when the money's flowing. And once the money stops, that's when she's going to find an exit strategy.
Do you watch basketball?
I catch a little bit, yeah.
LeVar Ball said it best. Once you get drafted, every girl's a hoe.
I mean, that's the thing, man, about being an athlete or a rock star and stuff. It's like you're just going to have groupies, man. You're not going to have anybody that's going to, want to build something with you and grow old with you. No, they want you because you're hot, They want you because you have that status. And I said this last live stream, is that status is very important when it comes to, you know, being seen and being approached and stuff. It's like it all changes. You know, your whole world basically changes from like you pursuing women to women pursuing you. Once you have status, and even perceived status is like powerful. You know, like they say, yeah, you go down to Miami, you get a bottle, you get a table and stuff in a bar. It's like you have that perceived status, so people will want to be in that area with you. And if you have more women around you, that's more, you know, perceived status. So yeah, I mean, but I'm just so glad I don't have to be a part of that whole charade of just trying to be the biggest man in the room, to swing the biggest pole and have, you know, the most money, and, you know, pulling up in the nicest car and stuff. Like this whole, it's just silly, you know, because like the end that you are getting to, you're only gonna get women. They're gonna be there for just being next to you as far as the image. They're not gonna really like you because they're not there for that. They're just there for the benefits. So
yeah, no, I agree. You know, it's just, I mean, I've already said it. I mean, what more can I say to these young men out here? Look, you just got to give yourself some time to calm down a little bit. When, like, I don't know how, like when I was in my 20s, a stiff breeze would make me stiff. You know, you gotta calm yourself down a little bit somehow. You know, you've got to, you know, that's a big issue nowadays. And I'm very passionate about this because I see a lot of young men who have kids with these women out here. And I got news for you. That's 18 years.
Yep. That's true.
Who's, you know, it's sad. And I'm glad that we've talked before offline, and, you know, you seem like you have a good thing going with your wife. And how long you guys been married?
8 years now. 8 years. We just celebrated our 8th anniversary on November 18th. So,
and how old are the children?
My son is just over a year old. My daughter is 7 years old. So
yeah. So see, there you go. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That's what you're building on. You gotta quit thinking with that thing between your legs. I'm telling you, fellas.
Honestly, man, it comes with time and experience, though. You know, it's like, unfortunately, you don't know what you know when you're just coming up. You know, you can have the maturity doesn't come until you've had time in the game. You've had your heart broken. You know, you're still figuring things out, because that's kind of, I mean, I didn't turn to the internet when it comes to, you know, this whole relationship thing. I didn't have that. I mean, there were books out there, but I didn't read those books. You know, I did things my own way. And I do consider myself lucky that I found, you know, my wife. It wasn't something I was looking for, you know, It just happened. It developed and it just happened. And I was so lucky that I was able to, you know, run into her randomly. But it happened, and there's no experience that I have in my own life that I can be like, okay, this is what you need to do, because that's not how it works, man. That's not how it works, man. It's like, sometimes in life there are serendipitous things that happen. You just happen to be at the right place, right time, and you just happen to find somebody that is not like in that mindset or in that world that people are in now, generally, in terms of like dating apps, you know, disposable relationships, situationships, stuff like that. You know, you find people that are completely removed from that, and it's almost like you can really, really start and build with this person. And then you also have, for me, I have the added like bonus that she doesn't have a lot of experience in terms of like what she has seen in the world. So I get to be like the first for that. So that's another thing that is like really good that men look for. We try to find women that we can be the window to their world, but unfortunately there are women out here that are very sought after, that have, you know, had simps give them money, fly them out, give them these experiences, and then they go back, they set them free back into the world, into the wild. And then you meet these girls, and now you have to top that last guy.
Yes.
So it's just like, dude, it's fucked, bro.
It really is. And I know a lot of guys will disagree with this, but the one thing I wished I could have done is I could have lost my virginity when I married the woman that I spend the rest of my life with. I promise you, life would be so much less complicated that way.
Mm-hmm.
I get it though. You can't really preach that to the world because once you've gotten it out of your system, then the curiosity is over. You know what it's like. So
yeah. Coke Benny said, as far as twink about dish, I spelled it like I was implying that's what baby Walter Jr. would say. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think Big Mo knows who you are and that's why he doesn't take your calls? That's a good assumption. I know that because my call happened about 8 months back. Okay. They did do
that long already. Jeez.
Yeah. They did a call-in show, not the following week, but like a couple weeks after that one. And it was kind of the same format. I called in and the phone kept ringing and ringing and ringing. I mentioned this in the last episode. The phone kept ringing and ringing and ringing. And then I finally got put into the queue. And then it said, I want to say like after about like 20 minutes, it wasn't a long time, about 20 minutes of being on the line, my phone got picked up, but then it got hung up on. So it clicked and then it hung up. And then I was like, oh, maybe the show's over. And no, the show wasn't over. The show was still going for like another 2 hours after that. So I was like, damn. Like I was in the queue. I didn't pay any money. And I think that, that might have been a factor why he dropped my call, because I didn't pay any money. And that's why they dropped my call. But I remember going back to Reddit and all these people were messaging me. They're like, dude, why didn't you call in, man? They had a call-in show. I was like, bro, I was there. I was there. I was trying to call in. They were like, yeah, we saw you commenting in the comment section or whatever. Like, why didn't you just call in? I'm like, bro, I called in and I basically just told them what I just told you guys, is that, yeah, I was on there for, about 20 minutes, and then I was in the queue and then I got hung up on. And, so yeah, my whole thing is that, I haven't been able to call back because now they're screening calls. Mo is screening calls. Now they're doing this thing where it's like a supporter only call-in show. So now you have to pay them to get in the line. And they said the one free way to talk to them would be to join the Castle Club by giving them your email. And then you're in there for free, and then you can call in, but it has to be like on I guess a Zoom call, or it could be a normal call too. But I was like, I'm not giving you guys my email, like just do it like the way you had it before, where we could just call in and give us our 2 cents and stuff. And if you don't want to if you don't want a hater on the line, then yeah, it's just going to be like these Glazer shows that are just going to be people be like, yeah, I got my life together thanks to you guys. I just want to, thank you so much. And I'm part of the Classel Club. Of course you are, little all this stuff. But it's just like, it's just like these shows that they're having now, it's like supporter only. Which it makes sense. They don't have the money rolling in like they had before. So it's like everything has to be a cash grab. There's only like they don't want to talk to people that don't want to mess with them or have hate for them, because they're just like, yeah, you guys give us great content because people will clip it up and everything, but it's like, it doesn't do us any good, because any show that they do on YouTube for any amount of time is like charity. I said that before, because they're not getting paid for it. It's only when they switch over to Rumble is when they start making money. Yeah. So, but what does it say? Sonic said, Sonic said wise words. I think that was to you when you were talking about that little quote.
It was, and he was laughing at what I said.
Yeah. Of course. Congrats, Camp. I'm guessing that's on my whole relationship. And then, remember, the second head is brainless. Yeah, that's true, man. But, there's some guys, I guess, they need a few more years in to realize that, because, shit, man, they got fucking Blue Chew. They have, Viagra. They have all this stuff that, like, helps you out. And, I know that Fresh, that is his MO, man. He's all about just smashing hoes, being around women, and, seeing who the next one is. And honestly, man, I mean, he's like early 30s. So, yeah, I give it like 3-4 more years, man, and then he's just gonna be like, okay, I got too many diseases, man. I gotta stop. Because if he keeps going like this, busting in girls raw and shit, it's inevitable, man.
Yeah, he's gonna be dead. that's, you know, that's just,
dude, they know my name in the freaking clinics, man. They're like, hey, Walter, welcome back.
yeah, they're gonna have to take a Bible and slam it on his. He's gonna have to slam it on his penis because he's gonna have so much chlamydia in there. They're gonna have to squeeze it out somehow.
Bro, it's crazy, man. You go to the freaking clinic and it's just like, cheers, man. Everybody knows your name, bro. It's crazy,
Right.
bro.
And I realized that was a very immature comment I just made, but it's just, I mean, you know, that's why, you know, I can only say so much to these younger guys. I really can. And you're talking to a guy that's not married. You know, the last time I dated a woman was 2 years ago. Okay. And I am more at peace and I've gotten more accomplished. This video podcast or my video podcast I do, I probably wouldn't be up at this late talking to camp right now if it wasn't for the fact that I was a single man. You know, it's just, the women do not need to run your life as far as like from a sexual standpoint. They really don't.
Well, I think when you, I don't know, as long as you have an agreement with, you know, your significant other, like, hey, like today, I told my wife this morning, like, hey, I'm doing the show tonight at 11:45, so I need everybody to be asleep when I get home. As long as I give her a heads up, man, she's like really cool about it. Otherwise, like if I just do a show willy-nilly, which I was doing before, I was just like, okay, I got enough shit, let's do a show. And then baby would be crying, you know, like she would be like, she's like, can you take care of him and stuff? And I'm just like, damn, dude, like I'm doing a show, you know. But now I realize I'm like, I just need to let her know in the morning, like, hey, I'm doing a show today. And then, you know, she's cool. It's just a matter of communication. I think that's kind of like, that was the basis of our whole relationship in the very beginning,
right?
You know. And I think that's why we're so solid now, is because we communicate.
Yes.
So
and that's why you're good at talking about the advice about like what it's like to be married. And, you know, well, you and I are the same age, and being single at my age, there's benefits to it, but there's also drawbacks to it. So, you know, that's an excellent way of putting it. You know, there's got to be communication, and that's probably one of the reasons why I'm not married, because communication has not been number one. Now, I've had a couple of one breakup was based upon, you know, some sadness, but I won't get into that. But yeah, no, it's, guys, I mean, you know, just got to calm down a little bit, you know, it's taking a stride. I mean, I notice, and people always tell me that when they find the woman that they get married for the rest of their life with, they weren't expecting it. Like they weren't looking for it.
Yeah. Honestly, I said this like a couple shows ago, is that when it comes to like, you know, looking for a girl or being available for a girl and stuff like that, you don't want to look for love. You want to just let it happen, you know, because I think when you go out and you're like, it's a Saturday night, I gotta go get laid, you know, it's like women will smell the thirstiness on you, you know. It's not hard to see it on your face that, oh, you know, this is, you know, it's like, I told people, like, if you just take it off the table when you're meeting somebody that, oh, I'm going to be sleeping with this person, you can actually relax a little bit, you know, and you can be in the moment. And it's easier for things to flow when you're not putting so much pressure on an objective, you know, like I got to smash this many girls by the end of the week. That way I can have my 50 bodies, because that's what Myron says. When it's like, no, bro, like you should just kind of take your time. Sometimes people in the real world, you get to know them, you know, you make sure that, you know, you establish a little bit of like, you make sure they're comfortable around you, you know. It's like, sure, there are some girls that will hit and quit it in the first night, but then, you know, if there's like girls that you really want that are of quality, it's like, yeah, you got to put some time in, you know. And that's not by acting desperate. That's not by showering them with gifts, you know. It's just kind of just showing up and, you know, being a genuine person. And I know that's kind of very general advice, is just, you know, I'm not even saying be yourself, because some people, they definitely need to work on themselves. They need to work on the way they speak. You know, a lot of people, they speak in kind of like a monotone, you know, like what's the low self-esteem type of thing. But, you know, I think what comes with being single, eventually there's a switch that happens in your brain where it just flips and you just say whatever the fuck you want. Because you're like, I got nobody stopping me. I got nothing holding me back, you know. You know, it just happens. And I was like that about 7 years, because I was single for 7 years after my last relationship, and then I met my wife and stuff. But for those 7 years, that time that I was single, no, I wasn't out here going crazy, smashing all these girls and stuff. I had like a large friend group, that we hung out every week, and almost every day. And that kind of filled the void, of me being lonely and stuff. Like I never really got lonely because I always was around friends. And I still had like that support system that you would get from a significant other, but it was like on a level that was like, I got it from multiple people, and I mean, I had guy friends, I had girlfriends, and they were all, everybody was just cool with one another. And, but it's like, we all weren't searching for a relationship. We were all just having fun together, and, it's not like that for everybody. I understand that, we all come from different places. Sometimes, just the friend group that you have is just the people that you work with, or people that you went to school with, or people in your town. It is important to get out there every once in a while, and just kind of, go to a restaurant, by yourself, or go to a bar, or go to a lounge or something, and just, soak up your surroundings and, meet new people. I know it's so hard for some people because it's just like they have this wall up. They don't want to be vulnerable and get that rejection or come off as a creep. But honestly, man, it's like, I think I can walk into any room, I can go anywhere, and I can meet people that, people can just feel your aura around you, and they can realize, oh, this guy isn't like a threatening person. I mean, I'm a big guy, but I don't give off like a threatening vibe, like I'm always just having a good time wherever I'm at. And I think people, they kind of like pick up on that, and people are usually quick to make a first comment, or they'll come up to me and say something. And, it's almost like I don't have to really try that much, but, I would say there's some people out there that, it's not like that. They give off some type of weird vibe, and I don't know, man. Like, I really don't have any advice for that. I don't. And I don't even want to claim to say that I know like how to fix that, because I only know how to do my own life. Maybe it's not in the cards for some people because, maybe they're in a small town and there's just no people that are following that. Maybe, some people have said, hey, move to a more, busy city. You'll meet more people your age, and you'll be able to have a little bit more in common with people. Sometimes you're in a town where it's just like a bunch of old people or it's a bunch of young people, and you're like the oldest one there. So it's like, it's you just got to find people that are like-minded. And I think that's kind of what the internet has done. It's kind of opened it up to where you can find people that are, in your same age range, have like similar interests and stuff. It's really easy to find people now than it was before, where you could just walk into a bar and hope to God that you find somebody that, can converse with you and know like 20-year-old references and stuff, because I want to say, going to the bars now, it's a younger person's game. There's a lot more 20-year-olds, and like a lot of people are like, dude, I'm like double your age, man. Like, I have nothing to talk to you about.
If I'm talking to a girl that age, there's only one thing I want out of her, unless there's some equally yoked, out of it. And why put myself in that situation at my age anyway? Come on.
Yeah. Cabo says, I really like your shows, man. I appreciate the work that you do. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, bro.
Oh, man. It's great, man. I mean, I know that I'm about to get off here in a sec, but I'm hoping to do this again with us real soon, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, bro. Yeah, this whole hour has kind of flown by a little quick, man. I didn't even get to the first clip. We were just talking about stuff, but yeah, man, it was a pleasure having a conversation with you finally online.
I know it, and everybody listening out there, I appreciate y'all. I'm sorry that I'm having to get off early. I'm just, I got my video podcast. I'm a busy guy and stuff like that, and unfortunately, I have to go see my grandfather at 7 a.m. here.
Oh yeah.
My family, they think it's normal to have Thanksgiving 5 days before Thanksgiving. So it's like,
wow.
So exactly. But I'm definitely going to try to get camp here on my video podcast here really soon. Our schedules are so weird. That's why we're doing this at hours, like on a Saturday night and stuff like that. But, it's been a pleasure talking to you about this, man. And I want to do this again really soon. And Sonic, man, I hope Sonic, I'd hope to talk to him again some. So he's good, good people. So.
Yeah, he's good people, man. I mean, I wanted to have eventually both of you guys on at the same time, and then we can do this little conversation. But I understand everybody's schedule is different. I'm not trying to impose on anybody. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to chat with me and stuff.
Oh man, I was looking forward to this we've been looking for this for a while, man. I mean, I wish I didn't have to get off here, but
hey, man, family first, my friend.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And one of these days, let's see. I appreciate you guys too, man. Yeah, man. Sonic's a good dude, man. I mean, I haven't really just talked to him, but the show that I listened to, all the shows I've listened to with him and stuff like that, man. I don't know how old he is, but he seems like he knows what he's talking about. And if he's like 22 years old and knows what he's talking about at that age, just imagine what he'll be like when he's 50.
Hey, man, these guys, these younger guys, are a lot more savvy now because of the advent of technology and the information that is available. So, yeah, he's definitely one of the good ones, and he's always trying to teach people, and I think that's great. So I usually learn at least one new fact from one of his videos. So he's on the right track. Sonic says, let's talk, man. We should do a talk, all three of us. I'm flexible any day. Just let me know ahead of time. Yeah, sounds good, bro.
Absolutely. But
yeah, man, thanks so much, man.
Of course, absolutely. And I know we didn't really get into the first topic, but it's good. It's really good to discuss these things though that we talked about, because it's not, I mean, it's one of those things where you have to dissect these things. You don't want to drive yourself crazy with it, but
that's why I only do it once a week, man. I don't let it take over my life.
Exactly, man.
I just dip my toe in it. I'm like, all right, then I go back to being my family man. So it's cool.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, that'll work, my friend. And let's talk. We'll talk later. All right.
All right, brother. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family, man. And happy Thanksgiving, man.
Thank you, guys, man. Before I hang up, check out the Hank Russell invitation here on YouTube.
There you go. Yeah, you guys. We'll talk to you soon, man. Take care.
All right, bro.
All right. All right. Let me make sure that is done. Oops. Hold on. Whoops. All right. There we go. We're back. Let me go ahead and take off my iPad here. Boom. There's that. And I guess that's... Oops, what did I do? 1 second, guys. 1 second. Yeah. Where is that? 1 second, you guys. I'm trying to get... Oh, there we go. Boom. All right. All right, so I guess we can go ahead and start the show now. I appreciate you guys being here. So this first clip is going to be the clip of the altercation that had happened on Fresh and Fit. This was with, I believe the black lady in Myron. So that's all I'm going to say. Let's check it out.
I have screenshots of me saying Nazis on Facebook, man. You know what? What the fuck are you doing? You put your hands on me on your camera? I'm not about you, but you're ugly. Thank you. Thank you. Your mom does too. And everything you're saying to me will bounce off of me and stick right back to you. And that bitch that you're fucking on. Thank you.
All right, let's take a second to look at Chris right here. Chris is he's obviously been drinking a lot of Henny, so obviously he's gonna be a little tipsy. But now he's trying to get in between Myron and this lady, and I don't know how effective it is. So you guys take a look at this. Chris is so drunk, man. You can just look at that smile, man. He's just like, I'm doing this. I'm getting in between y'all, but I know I'm not doing much, man.
Do it. Get the fuck out of here. You stupid nigger.
Oh, and here comes Myron with the N-bomb. And I think that was the clip actually that a lot of people were like having an issue with. They're like, dude, I can't believe that Myron thinks that it's cool for him to just crash out and say these like crazy words and like not expect people to clap back at him. It's like, I understand you want to get these clippable moments because that's what goes viral and that's what gets people watching the show. But it's like, how many times is he going to keep playing the same card? Cabo says Myron's bald spot though. Yeah, that was kind of the inspiration for the thumbnail. I wanted to make sure that I captured the bald spot pretty good. So I think we did a good job.
Get the fuck up out of here, bitch. This is Florida. 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 Stand your fucking ground. This is Florida. You ain't getting reimbursed. Shit, get the fuck up out of here, bitch. You fucking.
Okay, so I guess her hair looks like Top Robin. I think somebody commented that on Fresh and Fit. I kind of remember that somebody saying something that, but that's funny. It's true, man. You know, the whole like reimburse me for the Uber, that was probably something that they said that they would do. Like, hey, get an Uber, we'll reimburse you. But if you get kicked out, there's that slight caveat. If you get kicked out of my show, you don't get shit. So.
Fuck you, yeah, fuck you, bitch. That's fine. I'm not You're fucking fat. You look like shit. Your hair's a wig. Your stomach is jiggling. You look like fucking shit. You're literally, your underwear is showing, and your stomach is hanging. Look at this disgusting. Look at this disgusting. When y'all come to this podcast, just know that these people right here are going to make y'all feel like y'all ain't shit. They want to try to demean y'all to take your energy. You're wearing a wig. Take their mother. I'm wearing a wig, bitch. He's dumb as fuck. I have braids in my hair, and this ignorant nigga who looks black and wants to be a nigga till it's time to be one doesn't even know what braids are. Yeah. He doesn't even know who he's talking to. We finna put you motherfuckers on the motherfucking internet. You bitches won't have no motherfucking job after me, nigga. You ain't gonna sue shit. Shut the fuck up, you dumb bitch. This is Florida. Okay. Do you know the laws in Florida? This ain't Texas, bitch. You stupid fucking retard. You don't know the law. This is a stand your ground state. Okay, yeah, you stupid bitch. You're so dumb. No, 67 IQ. This is dumb, bro. Get the fuck up out of here. I love you, though. No, I love you, bro. I love you, bro.
Okay, so the girl just had the epiphany. She's like, "Oh, this was the podcast that Asian Doll was on," and I'm pretty sure that she didn't get the full context that Asian Doll showed up 2 hours late. You know, started all being disruptive and everything, and then took the side of the girl that Myron was telling to be quiet because she kept disrupting the show. He said it like multiple times. And so Asian Doll was one of the people that my Fresh had networked to get her on. So she was basically his guest. And yeah, so the girl, Asian Doll was like, you know, you're a mean ass N-word, you know? And then it just escalated after that. She ended up walking off the show. And but yeah, so this girl, she's bringing back the whole Asian Doll thing. And I'm sure a lot of people, when that incident happened, a lot of people they put Fresh and Fit on the map that, oh, these guys are racist because of the way they treated the black girl. And then that was when the whole dabble in the dark thing happened. And it was a snowball effect after that. People were just like, oh, you guys don't like, or what, you know, you guys don't like black women and you guys are racist. And yeah, they got a lot. They were on top of everybody's video feed for a while because of that whole incident with Asian Doll. So yeah. Nigga, I'm finna get them hitters from Dallas to do it. Your bitch. Do it. Don't worry. Do it. This is the same nigga that came from Asian. Do it. Do it. Get the fuck up out of here, bitch. You are so lame. Your mama, You're bitch. Fat. You're fat. Mama, you're fat. You're fat. Hey. Bro, what the fuck? What are you talking about, bitch? Bro. Yeah, so headlock, all that stuff. See? And here's the thing. They can fuck you up. This is Florida. Yeah. You dumb bitch. They can literally fuck your ass up. Come on, take a purse. Yo, get a purse, man. Get a purse. Take a purse, bro. Yo, take a purse. Yo, take a purse. Yo, take a purse, bro. You gonna take my fucking purse? You bitches gonna take my fucking purse? Take a purse. Give me my fucking phone and get the fuck up off of me. Get the fuck off, bro. You're tripping, bro. Get the fuck off me. Bitch, I have the right phone. Fuck you, motherfucker. Give her phone. That's not my phone. It's my phone's over here. Where? My phone has a blue back.
Go ahead. We'll get it.
Bible verses, something you bitches don't know about.
Okay. All right.
Give a fuck about that.
I'm scared because
Oh, okay. So a girl that has Bible verses on it. That's another thing that we have. Well, they have discussed on their show. They're like, yeah, the girls that have Bible verses either on their profile or like on their phones and stuff. Those are the worst ones, man. Only because it's like it's a front, you know. But yeah.
it's hello.
It's right there. It's right there. It's right there.
All right, cool.
Fucking sick of you bitches. Y'all wanna fucking fight?
All right, go ahead.
You wanna fucking fight? I wish I had my blicky on me, bitch.
Oh yeah.
All right, you got it.
Fuck off with me, nigga. Let me go
I
upstairs.
literally just saved you. I literally just saved you.
Shit, bitch.
I literally just
I
saved
was
you.
about to beat these hoes up. I've been waiting
Okay.
to fuck somebody
Yo,
up.
I literally just saved your
You
life.
ain't
though.
say shit.
I just literally saved your
And
life.
I wasn't trying to hit you.
I wasn't
You know I wasn't trying to hit you. I wasn't trying to hit you.
I didn't hit you at all, though. Listen.
No, it's fine.
Shit good.
I'm cool, Chris.
You sure?
Chris is drunk as hell. Chris is just like, get out of there, man. He's so drunk, but he's like, the longer I stay here, the longer I antagonize her. So yeah, let's just keep going.
Oh yeah? You on the asshole?
Yeah, so that girl has gone viral for her little outtakes and stuff, and it came out later that she was like an uncle. She says on her Twitter that she was an Uncle Ruckus, and I was like, damn, dude. It's like, let me see if I can find it real quick. I think I have it. Let's see. Where is it? Gun in the rant, black girl, racist rant. I think that. Oh, the security got involved with this one. Oh no, that's not it. This is the same one. Hold on, let me back it up. Racist tirade gets in her face. Damn it. Well, I mean, what I just said was pretty much what I was talking about. She went on her I think it was her ex, and she said that she hates black women, she hates black people, and that she's gonna one day marry a white man and stuff. And she said in her own words that I am a female Uncle Ruckus. And yeah, it was just like, wow, you and Myron, man, you all should have got along because of the way y'all view black people. But let's move on to the next one. The next one I wanted to talk about was I think Tariq Nasheed. Yeah, he talked about Myron and black women, and that was this clip right here. And I don't think we're ever gonna get that.
Try to talk trash about us.
I don't think we'll ever get that the rematch with Tariq Nasheed and Myron, because Myron does not want to put on the money. He doesn't want to pay Tariq Nasheed to come on the show. And it's unfortunate because I think that would be a pretty good conversation. But yeah, so this is Tariq Nasheed speaking about Myron.
Who try to talk trash about us here because of the current state in many of those places. We let them know that they're not at liberty to take shots, just like your homeboy Myron. And Myron is a good example. Myron, his whole platform is denigrating us over here, denigrating foundational Black Americans. And Myron comes from the damn Sudan, which is a bunch of filth, shanty towns, poverty, and degradation. So we have to remind him that he should humble himself, because if it weren't for us, he'd still be over there washing his hair in camel piss. So that's a very fair assessment.
That was a very visual statement that he just said. Washing his hair in camel piss. Sheesh.
To let people know to be humble about your background before you start pointing fingers.
What
right?
did you find that was a big contention with Myron, like especially today? What was the big contention for you?
My thing is, and I discussed this when he was barking on old girl. That's typical bitch made Myron. But I was like, I'm not putting the cape on for her, because she should have known better than to go up in there by herself. And she's a non-FBA herself. She's a Caribbean chick. So a lot of those women who go up there and get screamed on by Myron, a lot of them are non-FBAs, and I think they go up there thinking that they have some kind of immigrant camaraderie with Myron, and then he flips on them. So they should know better at this damn point. So, that's my thing.
So wait, are you saying that the people who went up on Myron's panel were non-FBA?
Yeah, well, the woman who went up there who got screamed on and he was cursing her out and calling her the N-word, yeah, she's non-FBA. She's Caribbean.
Okay. Would you say that a lot of FBA women act like that or act differently?
Act like what?
Like how she was acting on Space.
Well, I saw him barking on her, and that was cowardly no matter what. And he does that all the time with black women. When black women go up there, he starts screaming on them, denigrating them, and doing all of this stuff. So yeah, he's real bitch made. That's a reflection of him.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Myron. I'm saying like when the women came up on the panel and they were talking like that, would you say the behavior that they portrayed is that like would you say that's akin to like a lot of how FBA women act?
Uh,
Now, this question that this guy is putting forward towards Tariq Nasheed is really, it's a loaded type of question because it's basically getting Tariq to answer towards a Caribbean woman, individual, and how does she act like the rest of the women where, obviously Tariq Nasheed is going to be saying that black people are not a monolith. We do not all act the same. So for this question is assuming a lot. And I don't know what his answer is for this because I forgot. But yeah, what I do know is that Tariq Nasheed is probably going to say in his own terms that black people are not a monolith. We are not all the same. There's not a behavior that is congruent with the masses of majority of black people. Cook Benny says, Myron still thinks he won the first debate with Tariq. He's only going to get cooked more and deny it. That's true, man. I know Saint in the Center said that he was going to host the debate. He was going to put the money up and everything, as long as he was able to moderate it. But, because of Myron wanting to have everything on his own terms, that's why the whole thing got messed up. And it's not going to happen now, which, I don't know. I kind of wish that the ego that Myron has could be put aside and be like, okay, this is something that could definitely get a lot of eyeballs on because, yeah, he could possibly definitely get cooked in the conversation. And it might end up in just a lot of negative press for them. But I think Myron thinking that, I can have home field advantage so I can kick him off whenever, things get too contentious. He wants to be able to have that control. So that's why he wants to have everything on his show. And whether it's live in person or on a screen call, kind of like what they did with Ethan Klein and the H3 podcast. But honestly, Myron does not want the smoke from Tariq Nasheed because he definitely got cooked on that first conversation.
What do you mean how FBA women act? How do FBA women act?
Well, as in for instance how she was acting on the panel, because I mean I've watched Myron's Fresh and Fit shows. He's had plenty of Black American women come on board, and like a lot of them, sorry to say, a lot of them do end up acting ratchet. They end up throwing in a lot of tantrums and stuff. That's just the facts.
Be honest, I don't really watch his platform. I see a lot of the stuff where he ends up screaming on people, and he goes in there, from what I understand, he already has an anti-black disposition with them, so a lot of them are reacting to that, and that's kind of gaslighting. You can't say that they act ratchet when Myron is just as big of a sassy bitch as any woman. He's screaming and yelling and cursing just like a bitch. So what makes him different from them?
Cavo says, what are your thoughts on the Whatever podcast? I think Brian from the Whatever podcast is very smart guy in terms of knowing when to pivot, because I believe in the beginning they were doing a lot of social experiments with their channel in the earlier stages. I think they were also doing pranks as well. And then as soon as Fresh and Fit kind of took off and that whole platform, the way they designed it and stuff, they saw that, there's a market for this, and we're in a completely different area than South Florida. We can actually do this as like a West Coast style, and we can do it in our own little way. We can still keep the same framework, but we will also we'll pretty much we'll have the same structure of the show, the same intros, and but I'll just try to run it myself. And I mean, honestly, whatever podcast is really just derivative of Fresh and Fit, in my opinion. They are always just but now they're doing like these 8-hour. I saw like a couple videos. They did like 8-hour streams and stuff, and now they're starting to offer like pizza to the guests to like, so they can stay in it and stuff, because I mean 8 hours, that's a long time to be doing a live stream. I mean, it's true, they're making like a lot of money per show, like at first it was like, I don't know, like $2,000-$3,000, but now it's like almost every chat that comes in is like $200, and all that stuff adds up. I think it's smart that they don't push to the edge as far as like, talking anything outside of like male and female dynamics. I think it's smart to just keep it there. Yeah, of course you're going to have, conflicting opinions, and, you're going to have these really extreme guests that come on that have like, like, oh, I'm an OnlyFans chick, I've been doing it for a bunch of years, whatever, but now I'm ready to, find a man to, a high value man and stuff. Like, it's like the earlier stages of FNF, what they used to be. And they're just like, look, let's just stay here in this pocket and let's make so much money. And let's not try to go crazy like what Myron has done. And it also helps that they have people that come on that, are kind of a draw to the show too. Andrew Wilson coming on, basically being like a second host. And, it's I don't really, I can't really say I've watched a whole episode of whatever podcast, because I do think it is just very derivative of Fresh and Fit. I just think that it's, Brian, he just, whatever he's doing, he needs to stay in the same pocket of doing what he's doing. Because it's making a lot of money. There's a lot of people over there, and yeah, just don't mess it up, man. And I know there's a few people that have come on there and they've tried to like say things about, the trans community and stuff like that. And Brian, he's so quick to be like, yo, we're not talking about that. We're going to move on. Like he squashes it real quick, because he knows that if you go down that road, you're going to get into like the demonetization type area. And that's like the last thing he wants, because yeah, he's making a lot of money. But it's crazy how a lot of his views and his the things that he says, he's like, I don't eat box, da 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 da. And I'm just like, dude, you're like so much trying to be like Myron, and people caught him on that. They're like, yo, it's like, he's like, you're part of this whole like labia thing where you're like, you want to, you're for like big labias, whatever, but it's like, it's a joke. But then at the same time, it's like, yeah, you say you don't eat box. So yeah, it's just kind of a little confliction going on there. But, yeah, I just think that Brian is a milquetoast dude that sees a formula. He's smart enough to not push at the edges and just kind of stay in that same pocket and just keep making money, man. Because right now YouTube is favoring him, and and everybody else that tries to do what Fresh and Fit does, they get dealt with. So yeah, more power to him. And I also thought that I think Brian and Myron were supposed to have like some type of conversation, because I think Myron said on X that he wouldn't be opposed to having a conversation with Brian, whereas before he was just like, I hate these guys, I don't want to associate with anybody that's trying to be a second rate us, like we're the originators, everybody else is trying to copy us and everything. Last thing I want to do is collaborate with a person who's copycatting, when really it's just like, I mean, the Fresh and Fit formula, their whole setup and stuff, they don't have a copyright on that. And yeah, a lot of people have done it as far as trying to have all the girls have the mic, have the table situation and stuff. I know Pearl did it. I know Saint the Sinner's done it. You got, whatever, and all these others. I think, what was the other one? There was another podcast that's no longer going on. It was the, No Fugazi also did it. And what's another one? Gosh, I can't remember it, but there was this one guy. He used to be part of the Fresh and Fit podcast, and he went and did his own thing. And it was like pretty much the same thing as Fresh and Fit. And yeah, it ended up not lasting. But yeah, that's pretty much what I think. Hopefully I answered your question. Coke Benny says, oh my gosh, I almost forgot about the debate he had with H3. Myron kept ducking and deflecting Ethan's questions. Yeah, whereas, where Myron had tact, Fresh did not. I think Fresh was like quick to give him answers and stuff. But yeah, Myron, he's a lot more socially trained, in terms of his little government background and how to withhold information. I think that was he's really good at deflecting and not answering questions or answering it with very limited direction, so it doesn't really give away his position. I think Myron is he's just socially trained for that, whereas Fresh sometimes will just let shit slip because he just doesn't know that he let shit slip. So Kaba says, yeah, Myron also said that he didn't want to collab with whatever because apparently Brian isn't Red Pill, yet he's collabed with people like Destiny and other content creators who aren't Red Pill. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the contradiction of Myron. He has respect for you if you're not trying to compete with him. So Destiny doesn't try to compete with Myron, so that's why he has and I think the clips with Destiny where he's on Fresh and Fit, I guess because Destiny has a pretty huge audience, and Destiny combated a lot of Myron's ideas, and I think it's good to have disagreements, and I think Myron also believes that it's good to have people that disagree with you, because then you can have like a back and forth conversation, where if you're just surrounded by people who are just like, yeah man, I agree, it's just like, it's not that dynamic of a conversation. And it was good. I thought it was good how when Destiny was on the show, and I think also when Sneeko would be on there, they kind of gave a little bit of a little bit of pushback to Myron, and it was, I think it was good. It was good for the show. So, but yeah, it's very what's it called? He doesn't want to collaborate with Brian because he's the whole competition thing. But then he now said that he was open to it because now Myron is now trying to figure out any which way that he can get money. So if it means going on Jubilee, if it's going on Timcast, like he's just going to try to go on any podcast he can just to like get some type of money, because Rumble's not paying the bills and YouTube's not paying the bills, and he says he's not going to go to Kick because, he's loyal to Rumble. So yeah, it's a tough spot that he's in right now. Coke Benny says, do you mean authentic alphas? I'm not sure about that one. What do you mean? Do you mean authentic alphas? I'm not familiar with that. Is that a YouTube channel? I do not know about them. If you could give me a little bit more about authentic alphas, I'm not sure. Let's finish this one up. We got about 30 seconds left.
No, I'm not arguing on Myron's behalf. I'm just, my point is that, like, is the behavior of, I don't know if you managed to listen to the space, but how she was acting, we find that type of behavior is quite common, especially in a lot of, like, you could say Black American, African American, whatever term you want to coin, across a lot of them. Would you say that's common, or because I mean that's where they get the stereotypes, right?
Well, no. Well, Myron they're matching his bitch energy.
Unfortunately, we didn't get the answer to that, but the line of questioning is kind of a loaded response because it's not really pertaining to the actual situation itself. What the speaker was asking Tariq was, does she act like American Black women? Whereas, the lady, she wasn't an American. I believe she was either Jamaican or Dominican. She wasn't American. So, she was kind of her own person. But, then she had a little bit of racism against her own race, So it kind of fell like, I didn't really feel sorry for her. And also Tariq Nasheed, he said in a later video that he did not agree with her, or he didn't feel sorry for her because of the way things turned out, as far as, the more context he got about her. Let's see. There was another one. Oh yeah. So this is the one where Myron got into a heated argument with two Black girls. And this one was, I think this one was good because they were talking about racism and how black people cannot be racist, and I think that was a point of contention where Myron was like, do you have to have power in order to be racist? You know, if you don't have power, then it means that you can't be racist. It means you can only be prejudiced, which, you know, I think everybody has the potential to be racist. Cook May says, when you were talking about another YouTuber that was part of the FNF that made his own podcast, Authentic Alphas was what the channel was called. It was called, you know what? I'm just going to look it up real quick. It was the... Let me just Google it real quick, because I remember, I know it's not together now. It was called, let's see, real quick, and let's see. So they're saying, what was it? Podcasts are like Fresh and Fit. They said something. It was the, God. Ty Lopez, no. Michael Sartain, no, that was not it. Tate Speech. Oh, you know what? It's not going to be on here because, God, it was called, oh, I know it. It was called the Unfiltered Podcast. That was the guy that used to be on, he was part of the team of Fresh and Fit, but then I think he either got fired or he left, and then he started his own podcast. It was still in Miami, same setup and everything. The the Unfiltered Podcast, that's what it was. I'm glad I just I figured that out. There it is. So yeah, this is Myron. He's gonna be, I think you guys might have seen this. He was talking, he has I think there was a white supremacist in this chat, but he was also talking to two black girls in this one. So here it is.
Say we can't be racist, but if a motherfucker do, I feel like if any motherfucker got a right or entitlement to feel any harsh, any anger against another motherfucking race, is Indians and blacks. And y'all sit back and say nigger with an R. Mexicans sit back and say nigger like they was picking cotton with us. First of all, y'all sit back and say nigger because it makes y'all.
Okay, nigger, thank you for confirming all the stereotypes that we believed. We appreciate your fucking participation in the fucking space. You literally,
but you say that we racist.
You literally confirmed all the fucking stereotypes. You're loud as hell. I had to literally turn my volume down. You can barely speak coherently. You used the F word a bunch of times. It's fucking incredible. Literally, like all the stereotypes were literally being used right then and there. It was fucking magnificent to observe. And then look, this Cushay woman comes in and speaks out a term like a typical fucking black woman. Hey, look, wait until you're spoken to, okay? There's some fucking decorum here. We got some rules. I know you're not used to that because, you know, in your house where it's Section 8 and it's all fucked up and shit like that and your fucking baby's running around because there's no daddy around.
God damn. Like, oh man. Like Myron, when he goes in on his racism bag, dude, like he goes all the way in. And especially like I said, dude, on these like little Twitter spaces, dude, he is like completely unhinged. Like I know he would never say this like while he was on Fresh and Fit, like on his when his show was live, because he's got to know, man. He's know that people is like, you got to like, okay, let's go to Rumble. That way I can be unleashed, so I can say some shit like this, because it's only when he's on Twitter spaces. But you know, of course, these videos get posted on YouTube, so eventually everything gets out about him. But damn, bro, like you gotta bring in the kids and Section 8 and all this shit. It's crazy, man.
Look, you gotta fucking take it easy. Okay, we run our shit here with some order, right? So Cachet, what do you, which is fucking hilarious. It's probably her government name as well. Cachet, what do you gotta say?
She's gonna tell us it's her real hair too. This blonde hair.
Bro,
it's her
yo,
real...
you can't make this shit up, man. Holy fuck. Oh, the black women come in here and fucking confirm the stereotypes. This shit is comedy, bro. This shit is comedy. I hope you guys are enjoying the content with these nigger bitches. This shit is hilarious, bro. What the fuck, man? Hey, Cachet, what do you gotta say?
I just wanted to jump in there because I think.
First of all, it's
hey, bitch, hey, a man is speaking. Suleiman, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Your
What the fuck you gotta say? Go on.
With your racist ass. Y'all some racist ass motherfuckers on this motherfucking spaces.
Okay, and?
Y'all all fucking miserable.
Okay, and?
You sound like a school shooter, bitch. You sound like you be shooting up them schools. Did you shoot up Sandy? Did you shoot up Sandy? Huh? Because you sound real fucking angry to be coming out here talking about black women. You must have been hurt by a black woman. Or what black woman broke your heart? Because you so fucking, you one of them pussy ass niggas. You one of them pussy ass niggas that
crazy.
you
All
be
crazy
running,
woman.
bitch. You be running. You be hiding. You be hiding behind the police. You got all this mouth on this fucking space. But if any of us see you, you will be hiding. You will be running.
What would you do,
running for your life.
What would you do?
Fucking pussy ass
What would you
bitch.
do, Kushay?
Now,
What
I'm gonna
would
show
you
you
do?
what the fuck a nigger is.
What would
I'm
you
gonna
do?
show you what the
Coke Betty says, whatever happened to Myron's Twitter lapdog Jocasta? Jocasta got exposed for diddling a minor, I believe, in terms of, I guess, having a conversation. I believe the girl was 15 years old. And I believe Myron and Fresh, you know, they kind of like came into agreement that, yeah, we have to sever ties with this because this is, you know, we don't want to have because I think Jocasta was one of the generals, whatever. And yeah, so they got rid of Jocasta. And also that was the time when a lot of the Castle Club generals were getting taken out. I think one of those were, what's DL Saint? DL Saint was part of that group as well that got taken out. Apparently there was some money that was being handled by these generals, whatever, and I guess they were trying to set up something on the side for themselves to where, you know, they were, I guess, keep pocketing some of the money and stuff. And yeah, they all got taken out. So yeah, DL Saint, a few of the other generals, I don't know their names, and Jocasta as well for his little drama with the little the 15-year-old chick. Yeah, that was just some press that they just didn't want to have in their circle. And yeah, that whole Castle Club thing, as far as the generals thing, that kind of fell apart, man. When you think about it, because you got like just all these guys out here that are, you know, they're on the fence of joining Castle Club because they're like, is it a waste of money? Is it a scam or whatever? And then you see how, yeah, you got money that I guess people that are donating, it's not going to the actual things that are supposed to go towards. You know, they got people that are generals that are just like trying to make their own money, try to take the money for themselves. So there's a lot of dishonesty there. And yeah, it got exposed, and that was months back. And I remember when I was following that. But yeah, Jocasta and a few of the other generals, they're all gone. But yeah, that was that. I think there's like 8 seconds left in this one.
the fuck a nigger is, bitch.
Oh, you use violence?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you.
Use violence?
Fuck out of here with your whack ass. What are you? Are you from Gaza? I'm trying to figure out what the fuck are you.
Okay, that's pretty much the end of that one. But yeah, so Myron has no chill, man, when it comes to black women, dude. He just goes in. This is the nicest reply I've seen on a chick on Twitter for Myron, because, you know, everybody knows Myron. He's like very quick to you know, call a girl a bimbo. And so what you guys can, I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see if I can zoom in. So she says, "Can I come over?" And, you know, she has her little thirst trap pose. And then Myron said, "Yeah, only if you promise to leave before my main chick shows up, thought." So yeah, I mean, that was kind of, you know, that was Myron being a little chill, you know, not as incel nature. But yeah, so that was that. The next one I have is Fresh. I know we haven't talked about Fresh in a minute, but here's Fresh with his little story of driving Uber and how he was so successful. And I don't know how convinced anybody was when it comes to the way that Fresh makes money. If we're like convinced if what he's saying is true, we can only go off of the things that he says, and if it gets exposed later that it was all BS, and yeah, it was all BS. But yeah, so let's listen to Fresh and how he was successful driving Uber.
When normies are partying and having a good time, that's when you fire up that Uber, bro.
I'll never forget, bro. Thanksgiving, what else? Christmas, and another holiday they had. Black Friday? Dude, that whole week, bro, yeah. And then the week for Christmas, bro, I made like $1,000 in one day.
That whole week I made $1,000 in one day. Wouldn't he just, why would you see how that doesn't make sense? What he just said? That whole week I made $1,000 in one day. That one day I made $1,000. It's almost like, you know, that's how he should have said it.
Insane, bro. For Uber, that's a lot. And I only did like 5 trips. Yeah, I went home. I was chilling.
So what this makes me think of, remember when, I don't know if it was Myron or if it was Andrew Tate, but remember when it came to making money that a woman that's online, like especially on OF, whatever, she makes, you know, like a couple $1,000s, enough to pay her rent, maybe get a bag, whatever. She'll chill for the rest of the month. You know, whereas a guy, if he makes like $1,000 in a day, he's like, wow, if I work, you know, every day, I can make $30,000 or, you know, and, but yeah, it's just like Fresh is like, oh yeah, so I made $1,000. I just went home and I just chilled. I had my rent and everything. I was chilling. So it's like Fresh is this person that Myron was saying that women are. Women, they make their money just enough to pay their rent, get a bag, and then they just chill for the rest of the week or the rest of the month. And that's basically what Fresh is saying here.
I made my money for the whole damn month. God damn. And that was after my 2 jobs. So it works, man. It adds up.
Bro, how many of y'all believe him, man? It's like, oh, it's almost like he didn't sound convincing to me that he made this money. If he did, he didn't really sell it too well. He's just like, oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. I've seen people make $2,000 in a day of just going hard, 12 hours on Uber and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I used to drive Uber myself, and yeah, I mean, I would say one of the busiest days I ever made, I did over 1,500, and that was when the Super Bowl was in my town. And yeah, I mean, it was just like nonstop rides, and you know, but I didn't stop. I drove for the full 12 hours. You know, I used to put in time where, like, you know, after the 12 hours, they cut you off and they tell you, okay, you know, you got like 15 more minutes, and then, you know, you're going to be off the thing. So, just like the caller said, Fresh is the person that Myron is telling them men not to be. Yeah, I mean, it's literally right there in his little story. He said, I made $1,000, or he's like, for the whole week, I made $1,000 in a day. I went home, I had my rent money, I was just chilling. It's like, you know, you think you would push yourself to go harder, man. Especially on a holiday where it's like all the money is like going crazy. You know, you just stay out there as long as you can, man. And that's just the man mentality, is like, goes, and excuse me. I've heard this said before, that men can outwork women, and that's kind of like our value, you know, like we will always have the energy to make money. And, you know, if it means, you know, working 2 jobs and then driving Uber, or just driving Uber full time and going in all the way 12 hours and stuff, and taking everything, I think that's something that is something to be admired. That, yeah, like that's kind of what our value is, being able to go out there, make money, produce resources and stuff, and just keep going, because that's what we are. Men are the workhorses, and, you know, that's just, I'm not saying there's not hardworking women out there, but I think when you put it, you know, up against a man, yeah, that's kind of what we're here for on this earth, is to bring home the bread. You know, bring home the bread, the bacon, and the cheese. Fresh can't do anything right. Even telling a story is a challenge for the guy. Bad liar. Dude, it's all in his delivery, man. Like, it just, like, I always pause it on this thing where it looks like he's just tired, man. He's tired of being there. And then Coke Benny says, he can't even lie professionally. It's like, come on, man. It's like, yeah, I mean, he has a very general story that, you know, maybe that's just how he was able to present it, but it just didn't seem believable. And Cabos is like, Fresh, trust me, bro. It's a lot of money. Coke Benny, I wonder what a debate with Tariq and Fresh would look like. A little bit of overkill. Oh, man. Tariq would be like, dude, just go pick some coconuts, man, because that's all you're good for. Fresh would be like, hey, man, you don't know what I do. I do a lot of work behind the scenes, bro. I can see that. Oh man, Tariq would fry him up, and it wouldn't be a quick. It would be a YouTube short, because Fresh he would have his arms crossed and he would be like, so yeah, unfortunately Myron isn't here. He's working behind the scenes. He's talking with the team, whatever. But I don't feel like I need to answer any of your questions, Tariq. I feel like you don't watch the show. You don't know what I do. And so, yeah, for you to have this opinion about me, I think it's, yeah, that's it. You don't know what I do. And, yeah, it'd be the same old playbook. But, yeah, so Fresh has this uninspiring story. Let's hear what Myron has to say. He's about to say something.
Bro, just remember this quote. All right. Work while they sleep, and then you live what they dream. They just came up with that just now.
Damn. On the fly.
Seriously, bro.
Well, I can't say that's not a bad quote, but Byron, Byron be having these things, man, about working hard and everything like that. And I think he does sit at home and just have this little like notebook of like sayings that sound good. And yeah, you can't really fault him for that, I want to see if there's anything else that I can say before we move on to the next story. Remember the stutter stroke he had with Eventual Warlord? Yes, who could forget, man? That was I think yeah, I mean, it started getting a little heated, and Fresh, he has this like nervous tick that if he tries to speak, his mind goes faster than he can actually speak, so it always comes out a little stuttery. And he tries to step on the gas and just like boom. I think his brain works too fast for his mouth, which is, it's unfortunate because they put a mic in front of this dude. Let's see. I think there was something here. Oh, so this is something I did want to say. This was like the IQ test that they have. Not where they ask the girls of, to name 3 countries. I think this was a new question, and I'll let you guys hear this one.
First question. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's hit it.
You remember me like, make a look.
If a pizza's cut into 8 slices and you eat 3, how many slices are left?
Can you repeat?
All right. 3, 2, 1. Throw them up.
Can you repeat?
Okay, so you listen. Fresh got out his phone and he's like, "Can you repeat that?"
Right. Looks like 5 all around. Good. Nice. Okay.
What's the question again?
Is that 5? I could barely see that.
8 minus 3 equals 5.
Okay.
I was just making sure. I
work
had to
at a
write it
pizza
out
place.
from my head. If you cut a pizza into 8 slices and
then,
3.
let's see if we get this.
Oh man, be on the B mic, man, and just everybody ignores you. He's got to get a better mic or something or turn it up because nobody listens to Fresh. He's just trying to contribute, man. And yeah, there was a couple people. Oh, well, I had to, of course, comment on this one, and let's see what the comments say. So I said, "This is too advanced for Walter. He's still coping. He's still coming to grips that 2 + 2 = 4." And then, oh, Cook Benny, you're right here. Hell, he's still trying to figure out who's decided 2 + 2 = 4. Oh man, yeah, dude. I mean, he just got flat out ignored, dude. I thought that was great. Myra's just like, I mean, I don't know if you would call this like him like being passive aggressive with Fresh, but yeah, it's like a serious like. It's out there now. You can't ignore it. And I know a lot of the people that are just like they catch the highlights on Reddit, but people that are actually watching the show, they're catching it live. They're like, bro, like Fresh has really no pull on the show in terms of like contributing to the thing where like people acknowledge his existence. We know when his turn to speak, it's at the very beginning and it's at the very end. But anytime in between, it's just like, yeah, that's free reign for us to just like, yeah, whatever, bro. Little bro him. Oh, I thought it was good, though. I thought it was something good to watch. Walter goes full-blown BBC autopilot monkey brain mode. This one I forgot about.
Okay.
Same show, though.
I was 10 up.
All right. Next question.
Wait, hold on.
Had to do
So
my
race
Yeah,
math
go ahead,
in my
Race. Yeah, take
head.
your
Wait,
turn.
hold on. Period, poo. Yeah, not funny.
What the fuck was that? Like, why even? I mean, I got secondhand embarrassment from that. Just like, god damn, Fresh. How are you always fucking cringe? He finds new ways to cringe people out, man. It's just like, damn, dude. It is incredible. Okay. Let's see. I think there's another. Oh, this is the one. Okay, so as you guys know, Myron likes to get into these whites only spaces on Twitter, and in this clip, Myron will be defending the white supremacists. Let me make sure this volume is all the way up for you guys. So yeah, Myron, he is going to be making excuses for the white supremacists. Here we go.
His name was. I'm not a hater.
Yeah, you can bring him up if you want, bro.
Clan meeting at the very top. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, it says clan meeting, and yeah, that's.
And he wants you to sell.
Of course, Myron would be in here. Coke Betty, BBC gang. Oh man. Okay, so Sonic says, would you still watch Myron if he was the only one hosting Fresh and Fit? I don't watch them now. You know, I literally just catch the highlights on Reddit. And then have to go back and find the clips and stuff. I think if Myron had another guest host, that he would bring in every once in a while, like Andrew Wilson, or if he was to bring in just anybody with charisma, I would take anybody at this point. I would still the thing is, I don't watch it now. I just watch the clips and stuff. And, I don't watch them for any type of advice or anything like that, but I just think it would still be entertaining to me. And you know what? Honestly, I think if you took Fresh out of the entire equation, I think that the show would be able to kind of refocus a little bit, because the whole letting Fresh say something stupid, it's kind of like it's built into the show. But if you were just to cut that, it'd be like trimming the fat from the show. But you'd also have to, I don't know, I think maybe if you took Fresh out of the show, I think Chris would be a little bit more amplified, because Chris, he starts putting a lot more one-liners, and he starts asking questions and stuff like that. I think if you were to take Fresh out of the situation, I think Chris would kind of fill his spot in a way. And I don't know, for better or worse, if that would be a good situation, but I would say that having Fresh still on the team, but in a more behind the scenes type manner, you can still have him, you can still put him behind the scenes and have him have him cut to him every once in a while and have him say something funny, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he would be. He doesn't have that type of timing to say something funny if you were to put the camera on him. Cabo says, have you seen the clip of Fresh kicking out a bunch of girls when it was just him hosting and Myron wasn't there? It was the most awkward kick out I've ever seen. I saw the highlight clip of that one, and yeah, it wasn't as direct. It was just kind of a. Fresh just doesn't have it in him to be direct with women, He's just like, yeah, just get off the show. Just get off the show, And yeah, I saw it. It was pretty awkward, He doesn't speak in the present voice. He speaks in the past tense voice, and which is not what you want to hear, especially when he's the one hosting the show. I try to stay away from those shows, when I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this guy's hosting it? Yeah, I'm good. It'd be like watching one of his IRL streams. I'm just like, I'm good. Because it's like, the more you watch Fresh, especially in a long form capacity, it's like you can only you can only put so much of your brain through that before you're just like, yeah, it's I'm really rotting my brain listening to this stuff. Not that Myron's any better. It's just that at least when Myron's on there, at least he can keep like a structure of the show where, you know, Fresh, he's always good at just like, okay, let's go to chats. You know, let's just keep the show going to something else that provides a forward momentum. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything that I have to say, but yeah, let's just go to chats. Let's see what the audience has to say. So yeah, it was a total awkward kick out. I can only say that I've seen instances where Fresh has kicked women out. I can count that on like one hand. And so yeah, they're very rare when they happen.
Can you not see my hand up? I got my hand up. Can you not see it?
We can't see it.
Can I speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I saw some posts earlier on where you were saying.
Okay, so this guy is about to address Myron on how he treats black people and how he treats white supremacists. So let's listen to this.
That you're cool with them white supremacist dudes now. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't have an issue with them, bro. I don't have it. I mean, at least, well, I don't have an issue with Handsome Truths. I don't know the other guys. Those guys are all anons. I don't know who they are.
Right, because you said you talked it out, and they commented underneath saying you're not allowed in the white spaces still.
Yeah, that's irrelevant. I don't care if I'm not allowed in the white spaces, bro.
You not got anything against them?
Why would I?
Why? Well, they called you a fucking nigger or sand monkey for no reason, even though you're serving your country.
Why are you instigating right now? Why are you trying to instigate right now? Come on, man.
Bro, who the fuck's talking to you? I'm talking to Myron. Who the fuck are you?
Because you must have just look. How long have you been in the space?
Bro, I'll follow you.
Okay, so I gave a monologue earlier where I was explaining that even if people insult me and talk shit about me, I'm still going to defend their right to be able to say it.
They can say whatever they want, but if they call you a sand monkey, fuck them.
Yeah, but I mean, again, like I said, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm not saying I'm going to bring him on the podcast, bro. Remember that. Like, I'm just saying, look, I don't have an issue with the guy. It is what it is. And that's it. Like,
what about, what about people with a mentality like that? What do you think about that? I mean, they have no basis of what they're saying. You serve for your country. I'll follow you. I like you. But why suck up to the... I'm not suck up. Suck up's the wrong word. Why even be...
No, suck up is a pretty on the point word. That's pretty good, actually. He does suck up to the white supremacists. He tries to defend them, and he puts a lot of their talking points out there. Yeah, Myron completely defends white supremacy, and even though he'll say that he doesn't, he says that he doesn't care about that kind of stuff. He makes so many excuses to like to not really be against them. You know, he's like, I'd rather work with these people because it's kind of it's always better to have conflicting to have people in a conversation that have conflicting ideologies, whatever, because it's just better for the conversation. I'd rather have, you know, people that disagree and still be able to have a civil conversation. I think that's there's some value in there, but no, honestly, it's wild how the question of, hey, these people don't like you, so why do you tolerate them? I can't even answer that question, but for some reason Myron, he has this view that, well, you know, I don't have to have them on my podcast, you know, and they can think whatever they want. It doesn't affect me. But I'm just like, geez, just don't be in a room alone with these guys, because man, they have some bad thoughts, bro.
Cool with these motherfuckers. They can say what they want to say, but you don't need to be cool with them. Fuck them.
Because holding hate is just like, it's not. I don't know these people, bro. Like, keep in mind, dude. Like, I don't know him, man. Like, I spoke with him off. You know, because the thing is, bro, we spoke offline. He apologized for like kind of coming at me in another space. So I was like, cool, no worries, man. Like. But
I mean, you hold hate for the dumbass niggers that talk shit and got that victim mentality. So why not hold shit for these dumbass white trash motherfuckers?
No. Here's the thing. I don't.
Okay, so that was a valid point. I don't like how he said it, but it's kind of a valid point because, yeah, Myron, well, he will basically hold black people's feet to the fire when it comes to their mentality. He says they have a victim mentality and stuff like that. How they don't deserve reparations and stuff. It's like they're just being lazy and all this stuff. He will call black people everything under the sun as far as being dumb, being victims, and just dumb, lazy, all this stuff. And then when it comes to people that are, out there racist, just blatantly racist, he kind of comes to the defense of them. He's like, no, these people are they're living their truth. And I'm like, man, I don't see how you can see the bad in one people, but then you don't see the bad in the others. It's just like, I can't believe it. It's like, how do you do the mental gymnastics to have that type of view of them? It's wild. Exo Charles, Myron is always trying to censor people that comment something that he doesn't like in his live stream chat. I remember people getting canceled in the Rumble chat when they were talking about Castle Club. Oh yeah, man. That's the thing. They're all about freedom of speech until you turn it on them and you start holding them accountable. That's when, Big Mo starts, banning people from calling or banning people from the chat. And, yeah, it's like, man, it's like you guys want to be in an echo chamber, but it's like you want freedom of speech, but no. And then, like what Myron just said, he's like, I have no issue with people saying what they believe, and I have no issue with that. It's just like, dude, he's like, I don't have to have him on my podcast, but bro, it's like, you say that, but your actions are different, man. You do censor people, so, but you don't censor everybody. You don't censor people that need to be censored. I don't know.
I don't hold hate for them either. I'm just saying that they're stupid. I have a hatred for stupidity.
So you hear that? I have a hatred for stupidity. Would you say people that are white supremacists, people that are, racist against black people, all people, and they think that, people are lower than them on the totem pole and that they deserve all this bad stuff to happen to them and stuff? It's like, I don't know if he sees people that are white supremacists, people that are ignorant, people that are, that they have this view about the world that, the world belongs to them and everybody else that's non-white, they have to basically kiss their feet and stuff. I don't understand how he doesn't see those people as stupid. He just doesn't. I don't know, man. He just wants to be white, bro. He wants to be white so bad. It's crazy.
Fair enough, but don't you have a hatred for these white motherfuckers? Don't you think they're stupid as well? Because a lot of them are dumb motherfuckers.
It's a ridiculous ideology, but look, again, like I said, that's not my lane. I don't focus on white supremacy. They can, as far as I'm concerned, they can do it. It is what it is. Because, okay, look, let me explain this. All
right? Sonic says, Myron has been saying that Hitler's a visionary, even though folks of his skin complexion would have been first in the line of the camp. Bro, facts, man. It's like you say this stuff, Myron, but if you were in that time, you'd be right on that freaking train to Auschwitz. They wouldn't even give it a second thought. They wouldn't have been like, okay, well, we like what you're saying. No, they're like, no, the fact that you're speaking out at all, man, line him up, bro. Because the last thing we want to hear are the words of a person who is not part of this whole, master race. Exo Charles, even Angie is repeating Myers' racist comments. Oh, bro, Angie is playing her role of the what's it called? The beard. Okay, and I do have something for that's kind of hypocritical about his relationship with Angie. That's going to be coming up after this. So yeah. I mean, Myron always says, you want to have a woman that is a reflection of you, and, whatever you vote for, she votes for, whatever you stand for, she just conforms to your worldview. And yeah, she's playing the part, man. And you know what? She doesn't have to work. She just gets a credit card and she gets to just, do whatever she wants. As long as she, stays loyal to him and all this stuff. But, it's already come out that they don't really have their relationship is all for show, you know, so people won't come out Myron about being gay and stuff like that. So Coke Benny says, I remember I actually pissed off Myron on a Rumble stream for calling him out for being a hypocrite because he kept ending the Rumble stream for Twitch while at the same time saying he was loyal to Rumble. Oh, bro. When he had his Twitch, they were trying to run it up, man. That's all Twitch was just another line of money coming in. And that's how they approached it, you know? The whole, like, yeah, we're gonna stream on Rumble and stuff. Rumble is home base. Yeah, that all kind of, you know, put to the wayside when they were like, oh, Twitch is another way we could get money. Let's do that. And you saw how fast, dude, as fast as like they had the plans for that, that dissolved so quickly. And you know what? It's poetic justice that they lost their Twitch just from, you know, the way that they acted and all that stuff. And you know, it's right, man, because you know, they just saw it as a money grab. You know, they weren't really trying to provide any real value over there. They were just trying to get hype trains and shit, man. That's all it was. It was all about money, man.
If a black person goes in and says, oh, black power, we applaud them, right? If a Mexican person says, Viva la Mexico, we applaud them, right? We have a whole Cinco de Mayo for them, right? If Asians want to create a fucking Chinatown in a major metropolitan city, we would have an issue with that, right? But if a white person says white power...
Wait a minute. Will we have an issue of Chinatown? I didn't think that people had issues with Chinatowns. I mean, I think there are some Americans actually enjoy Chinese food. They love Chinese culture. I don't know a lot of people that were like, oh, I freaking hate Chinatowns or whatever. I never knew that. Apparently, I guess Myron doesn't like Chinatowns.
or let's keep our families white or whatever, they're labeled as a pejorative term, right? They can't exercise love and nationalism and, you know, care for their people, okay? Basically, they're suppressed. So when you look at someone like an HT or any of these other guys that, you know, label themselves as whites only or white supremacists, whatever, that's a valid response to the decades of white people not being able to love themselves.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus. Sonic says, what does he mean by Chinatown, bro? There's a little Italy. Are Italians considered white? In Myron's eye, yes, they would be under the term white. I love Little Italy. But at the same time, you know, I love you know, Caribbean areas and all that stuff too. I mean, the thing is, like, that's what America is so great, man, because we have Chinatowns, because we have Little Italies, because we have, you know, little Hades and all that stuff. Like, it's a melting pot of different cultures. And I think Myron having an issue with like other cultures and stuff coming into America, and you know, it being one of those things where it's like it's all one race, you know. It's like, bro, it's like, can you not see the hypocrisy in your thinking? Like, you don't like when non-white people, you know, do start up their own businesses in their own areas and stuff when it's just all them all the time. Whereas like you got white supremacists that are trying to make this an all white country and they want all these other non-whites to get out of the country. You know, it's like Myron wants that, man. He wants to be white so bad, bro. But yeah, that's goddamn. This guy, man, he needs to look in the mirror, bro.
Right? Without being labeled
this guy right here, he's like I think the title of this video is like Myron is the lawyer for white supremacists, man, because he really is, man. He's in their corner.
Pejorative term. So when you see these extreme, you know, antics, etc., that's because they haven't been able to say, oh, I'm proud to be white in a very long time. Now, am I sitting here telling you I condone that behavior? No, I'm just telling you I understand. Condoning and understanding are two different things. So, like I said, free speech absolutist, man. I don't have to like the guys or be best buddies with them, but I'll tell you that me, HT, spoke off scenes. He was respectful. He was nice. He apologized. Done, bro. Water under the bridge, man. That's it.
Lorna, I understand what you're saying, but the Jewish left-wing media are the ones who have got the problem with them saying white power. I haven't seen any of these dumb FBA motherfuckers saying they can't say white power.
Oh no,
It's all these
dude, they
liberal
talk about white
motherfuckers.
supremacy all day, bro.
They do talk about white supremacy, but white supremacy is what you were subjected to that day in that space. That's what you were subjected. That's white supremacy because they believe you're beneath them. If these black motherfuckers, these FBAs, say, "Oh, black power, black this, black that," Latinos say Latino pride, brown pride, etc. They're not saying brown is above all these, is the master race. Whereas you were in a space the other day where they were saying white supremacy, and they've got the master race. Essentially, get the fuck out, sand nigger. That's different. They deserve the same hate you give these FBA motherfuckers. They deserve to be shamed.
That's a great point, man. You know, having pride in your people is one thing, but then when saying that your people are above everyone else, that's when it becomes problematic. And, you know, I think that's a good point that this guy's making, but I think that Myron is too, like, he's too blinded by, like, I guess his loyalties and stuff. Like, he doesn't have an issue because the guy that was part of the whole white supremacist thing had a conversation with him, apologized, and now they're cool. You know, it's like, yeah, you're allowed to have your views. You're allowed to, you know, be this, you know, have your, you know, have this view of things, even though it is against me, you know, conditionally. I'm glad that we're still able to maintain a civil type of relationship, but it's just like, dude, I don't know how you could be friends with someone who hates your guts only because of who you are, not like what you are, or because of what you are, not who you are. I think it's kind of messed up. Sonic says, free speech absolutist. Man, bro, someone who is a free speech absolutist wouldn't put commentary behind a paywall. I think he got that term, free speech absolutist, from Nick Fuentes. I'm pretty sure, because that was one of the things that he coined. Do you think, Cook Benny says, do you think Myron would let a white supremacist sleep with Angie? I mean, if they were cool, yeah, I think so, you know? That would probably be the end of Angie, but he wouldn't have any hatred towards that guy. He'd be like, look, man, she was a hoe, you know? he would fault her. He wouldn't fault the white supremacist. Absolutely not. He'd be like, look, man, she was a hoe. So I'm glad that you brought that out of her, and now we can end it. And she was just leeching off me anyway. That's what he would say. That's how I think it would play out. I'm pretty sure that's how it would go. But yeah. Let's finish this out. We got like a minute left.
Because if you say
Again,
white power is
bro,
the Jewish...
I think you have the timeline off here. That happened months ago.
I was in that space.
Yeah. That when I got kicked out, that was like months ago, bro. And that was by somebody. I don't even think it was HP. It was somebody else. So, whether it was him or not is irrelevant. Like I told you before, me and him spoke. It's good. Like there's no issues.
Would you ever squash beef with these FBAs?
I mean, sure. If they're dude, I offered Tariq the chance to debate. He didn't want to do it. He wanted to get paid.
You should debate these white ones too. I believe you'll smoke them, but I believe you should hold them to account the same way you hold these FBAs to account.
He never will. He never will hold the white supremacists accountable. He never will. As far as like, you know, going up against the FBAs, yeah, he's got beef for them all day. But yeah, when it comes to his white zaddies, bro, we all know, we all seen the pictures of Myron in college, man. He was the token friend, and yeah, he was all about his white daddies, bro. So he's carried that into adulthood, unfortunately.
FBAs deserve to be held to account. The dumb motherfuckers. They've got that victim mentality. They want the reparations.
They don't lobby to cancel me, bro. Like the white supremacists aren't the ones like fucking, you know, pushing to get me canceled, bro. It's the FBA's like.
Fuck cancel.
Of course they're not going to cancel you, Myron. You're the one that's kind of parroting all their talking points, and you know you're putting black people down. And yeah, it's like, yeah, they're giving you an attaboy because it's like, why would they cancel you when you're pushing their agenda? It's just like, come on, man, you don't even see it. God. But camp, it's just boys being boys, man. I know, dude. I know. The thing is, none of us played sports at a high level. You know, we didn't play for the military or law enforcement and stuff, so we don't understand. Okay, it's a wholly different level of playing sports. Being a D1 athlete, you know, it means getting shaved by one of your teammates while you're laying in the lap of him. You know, kissing him on the cheek, whatever, making sure he's tucked in at night, whatever. That's just boys being boys, man. We don't understand, okay? We're just out here, you know, out here just trying to find women and out here just trying to work hard and stuff like that. But, you know, we will never understand what it's like to, you know, embrace another man that's your teammate and you guys play at a high level. And it's just boys being boys, man. We're not trying to, like, you know, it's not gay, you know, it's just boys being boys, man. Oh man, I love the mental gymnastics around that whole, you know, you guys don't understand, because obviously if you guys see it as gay, it means you guys haven't played sports at a high level. I'm just like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about, man? You were in bed with two men, okay, with your shirts off, and then your whole thing was that, oh no, they ran into the bed and took a picture of me real quick. Nah, man, I don't think it was like that, because you know what? If they had ran into the bed, the guy put his head on your chest while the other guy was sitting next to you with his shirt off, it didn't seem like it was that rushed of a photo. It just looked like a moment. That's all it did. It looked like a moment that was captured and immortalized forever. And you're never gonna live that down, Mr. Myron. Exo Charles, people from European descent can embrace their heritage. There's St. Patrick's Day, Oktoberfest, etc. Myron has tunnel vision. Absolutely, bro. I mean, didn't he get caught up, you know, talking about white people, and then he was just like, and then he slipped up and he's like, yeah, you know, we, and then we're like, whoa, like, bro, you were talking about white people, and then you said we, like, right after. It's like you think you're part of the whole thing. And yeah, of course, you know, they made a joke about it and be like, oh, it was a slip up, whatever. Like, no, bro, I think you think you're white, bro, and I think you think that it's okay to have this, you know, to think that everybody that's non-white is beneath you, when it's like, you don't even know that, because you're not, I don't know how he has all this beef for, like, foundational black Americans and just black people in general, because it extends more than that. You know, he has issue with anybody who's black. You know, he looks at it as like that's a deficiency, you know, and it's messed up, man. You know, and of course, you know, he doesn't get offended by racism because he's also racist himself. So it's like you can't say anything to Myron as far as like his blackness and stuff, because he's just gonna be like, yeah, man. It's like I think that same way too. But yeah, let's finish the rest of this.
So they want to kick you out the fucking country, even though you serve for it. They don't want you to do anything to do with the country. They want to send you back to Sudan.
Let them have their views, bro. Let them have their views. Like I said, First Amendment, bro. This here's the thing, dude. Again, I'm telling y'all, I am resolute in my thing for freedom of speech, bro. Right? Like, as long as you're not trying to fuck somebody's shit up and fuck with their ability to make money or some shit like these FBAs do to me all the time, where they're trying to get me canceled. Completely different, bro. Freedom of speech is freedom of speech, man, even if I don't like it.
That's true. I give.
Yeah, see, it's just like he has more smoke for FBAs because FBAs have a reason to be having this hate, because it's like you never see Myron going at white people the way he goes at black people. Like, it's just it's on a whole nother level. And I think they have a reason for wanting to have him taken off, because it's like people don't want to see that. Let me see. I think oh yeah, this is the thing about Angie I wanted to show you guys. Let me see if I can zoom on this. So that's oops. Hold on. See if I can. Oop. Okay, can you guys see that? Yeah. So that's AOC. She's pictured with this white lady, and it's in the light way is Isabella Maria De Luca. She says if she only knew, and you know she's wearing this long sleeve shirt with a little midriff action and some short shorts. And Myron, of course, had to say she couldn't tell because you were dressed like every other liberal hoe. And the very next photograph, boom, we got Angie with this white lady wearing a short sleeve shirt, showing her midsection here, and some short shorts. Girls' night out, right above. Let me zoom out this so you guys can see it. I mean, let's look at the comparison. I mean, at least her sleeves are long. I don't know, man. The thing is, it's just like, it goes back to the whole rules for thee, but not for me. Yeah, it is what it is. I think the title, how is your hoe any different? And bro, it's just, it goes back to what the guy from No Fugazi, he said that he is the exception and so is his girl. So I guess in Myron's case, Myron is the exception and Angie is also the exception. So yeah, she can do all this stuff, but you know, the rules of her being a hoe, that's just not that doesn't apply to her. She's the exception to the rule, guys. So I'm gonna let you guys believe that. Let's see. I'm convinced Walter's trying to crash the show out, and I think that was just a dialogue one. Let's see. Oh, so I think this is gonna be the last one I think I have about Myron. He has he's elevated from insulting Preach's wife to insulting a man's child. This is only about 49 seconds. We'll look at this real quick.
You fucking bitch ass.
Oop, hold on. We rewind.
You fucking.
Yikes. All right, let's go there. All right, so yeah, this is him on his Fred Reacts channel, and I guess somebody had brought something up about Preach. And you know how I mean, it's so easy to trigger Myron. It's just like, say Abba or Preach, and yeah, he's gonna go in. So let's listen to this.
Bitch ass faggot. Look at you. You can't even show your face. You and your ugly ass girlfriend, and then your ugly ass son, who looks like a fucking idiot. You gonna have a hard time finding a bitch when he's older, nigga. Ain't nobody gonna want to be his prom date. He's a weird half-breed. Like you. You look like shit too. You got freckles, nigga. You don't even want to show your entire face, faggot. Fuck you and your gay ass kid, faggot.
God damn.
Sir, your son is cute. Shut up, Aislinn. You look like a fucking monkey. Bitch ass nigga and his nigglet ass son. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Holy shit. Jesus. Now he's taking words from Nick Fuentes, because I think it was like last show. Maybe it was last show or maybe it was a show before that. The N word, but the let part. The N let. That was crazy, man. So yeah, he's taking little cues from Nick Fuentes here.
Old niglet. You gotta grow up to nigga not gonna know what he wants to do in life. You don't know if you want to join the Klan or if you want to be a fucking crook. Fucking crazy. He confused. He's fucked because you got a faggot ass father like you. You fucking weirdo. You probably wear heels on Sundays, faggot, and a thong on Thursdays, faggot.
Jesus Christ, Myron. Okay, damn. Triggered. Let's see. Exo Charles says, how much time do you think it is left until Fresh and Myron break up part? Bro, I think I made the prediction already. I said they're not going to make it past 2025. I think sometime into next year, I think it's gonna be when it finally comes to a head, and that's just it. I don't see any they're just too far apart in terms of like their ideologies and stuff. And yeah, I mean that did work for their dynamic in the beginning, like, you know, Myron being a lot more direct, whereas, you know, Fresh was more of like a yes man, and he would just kind of throw in some ad libs and stuff. But now Fresh is starting to develop an idea for himself, and he's starting to voice it more. And now it's getting to the point where, yeah, they're going to start clashing, and it's going to be online more online than offline. And yeah, I mean, it's just bound to happen, man. And of course, you know, the way that they're going to present it is that they decided to part ways amicably, and it's not going to be like, you know, what we think it is. Because I think in all things, I think Myron is going to want to save face. He's not going to want to burn any bridges and stuff. He's just going to want to part ways and not have any like bad press about that, because I think that's kind of like how his loyalty plays out. So Sonic's like, bro, Myron's roast liners suck. They're terrible. Dude, I know, man. It's like, it's funny because like he just refers back to those words, man. The F slur and the N word, man. It's just like those are his things that he likes. Okay, so there's one more thing for Myron here. He wants to be white so badly. Now, as you guys know, Kendrick Lamar just dropped his album GXN. What is it? GXN? I can't remember it, man. It's a great album. I've listened to it, and I love it. Go listen to it. It's on YouTube right now. Kendrick Lamar, man, his new album just came out. And one of the first songs on there, he has a line where he says, don't let a white comedian talk about black women. and I believe they were referring to Andrew Schultz here. And so Myron had to chime in and said, laugh my fucking ass off. Wow, they're attacking Schultz for the very thing he attacked me for. This is why you gotta be openly racist and not give a fuck about these cryberry blacks, Jeets, Jews, wetbacks, and zipperheads, what they gotta say. This is what Schultz gets for trying to virtue signal and call me a racist when he went on his podcast. Snakes in the grass always get exposed. And then this guy's last comment is like, do you, I didn't know, did you know it was possible to like Kendrick's music and Drake's music? Yeah, that's kind of wild, man. Like, sheesh, man. Like, people read into these comments and then like they just try to find a way to insert themselves and be flagrant, you know. And Myron right here is just trying to you know, chime in on the popularity of the new album and just trying to put his 2 cents in so he can be relevant. And yeah, bro, it's like shit. It's not that damn serious. Coke Betty, he claims to be a master roaster. Yeah, bro. He thinks he's cooking, man, when really he's just being fucking crazy cringe. It's not anything good. But okay, so let me go to the No Fugazi guy. We're gonna go ahead and move on to his little segment, and this is the part where he did a 3-hour answer to, you know, all the backlash from that TikTok clip, and yeah, it was 3 hours, bro, and I did not. I watched, I think, 2 hours of it. I watched the very beginning, and it was a lot of jibber jab. It wasn't a lot of actual rebuttals and stuff to really counteract all of the narrative. A lot of just like, hey man, I'm just the exception to the rule, you know, and it doesn't really negate the fact of what he says and what it stands for. And for those of you that don't know, David Cooley has said that, you know, you want to avoid single moms because single moms are bad, you know, for any type of relationship. If you don't have kids, stay away from them. And he's like, even if you do have kids, it's almost a bad idea to stay away from them because, you know, they bring a lot of negative to the situation. And whereas, you know, his whole situation at home is that he is with a woman, that a single mom of 2 kids, and they're not married yet, you know, but they have a kid together. He came into the relationship with a child. That's a correction from last episode. I thought that his lady had a mixed daughter with another man, but that was actually David Cooley's daughter that he brought to the relationship, and they've had a mixed son now together, and I think she also has another baby on the way. So, but let's listen to his 1 minute explanation of how he is the exception to the rule. Here we go.
But when you are a father, you got to be selfless. You got to think about, well, I got to find a woman that embodies some good moral characteristic traits like I do. I got to find a woman that comes from a 2-parent household. I got to find a woman that's like the exception to the rule. Because I'll tell you, when you're a single father, women that don't have kids don't necessarily understand the obligations that come with having kids.
Myron is making so many enemies that someday he will get into a situation IRL. He's had death threats already, and the most recent situation with that girl that he kicked off has gone viral to the point where people were like, "Yeah, man, like he's getting so bold, thinking that he just because he has a gun that, you know, he can't be touched, whatever." You know, it's going to come to a point where he's not even going to see it coming, you know, and he can't have these all views and stuff about black people always resorting to violence. You know, he's not even going to be able to say that. People are just going to take him out and he won't have a chance to say that. So, yeah, he's definitely playing with fire. And Myron, you know, if the podcast if they don't split up, whatever, it might have to end anyway because he got capped. You know, I wouldn't put it past anybody out here that it's just like, yo, not only did you know, crash out on that black girl, but that black girl was my sister. That black girl was my, you know, girlfriend's best friend or whatever and all that stuff. And people that's all they need to come after you. And it's honestly, man, Miami is not that big of a place. You know, he can be found, he can be touched. And there's plenty of people that have been on the show now that can dox him and tell him, you know, where he's at and stuff. So, yeah. I don't really put it past him that something will happen. It's definitely a possibility.
You get it? They don't understand the obligations that comes with having kids. So for my situation and for a lot of guys, I mean, if you can get a woman that is the exception to the rule, where she's not a single mom because she got knocked up or she had some one night stands or she has a whole lot of tattoos, like she has all of these other red flags and she's a single mom, is like, God dang, what's going on? Because we know the stigma around single moms. So if you're going to date a single mom, you got to date one that isn't a stigma. But guess what? Stay away from the single moms. I still tell you guys now, because generally speaking, the majority, they have all of that baggage. I just so happen to be the exception to the rule, and so is my chick.
There you go, guys. You just got to find the exception to the rule, and you also have to be the exception to the rule. The way that David Cooley believes that he is the exception is because he has full custody of his daughter, and that's what makes him the exception to the rule, because he said 18% of single fathers get custody of their children, whereas the rest, the custody is awarded to the mother. I mean, when you think about it, the mother would have to be like a crackhead, unsuitable to take care of a child, have like either be like really promiscuous and have like a drug problem, any type of addiction or something, to lose that custody, or have a history of violence and stuff like that. Or a criminal record, whereas, the other guy, all he has to do is not have a criminal record and have a stable job and all that stuff. And I think this whole thing about, I'm an exception to the rule because I have custody of my child, that's not really, that could go either way, honestly. But yeah, I think that's not a good enough reason. The one thing I do want to show you guys, this one is, let's go to YouTube real quick. I want to show you what I saw of because this thing with David Cooley has spiraled, and we're gonna go back to Mr. O'Shea Duke Jackson. He did a lot of videos on him, and hold on, let me see if I can find this one. I think this is, yeah, this one is it. I think this is the one.
Welcome.
So yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna have to skip some ads here. Let me make sure this is But yeah, he's getting a lot of press right now with this whole clip. So here you go. This is O'Shea Duke Jackson. He said, "No Fugazi podcast made me regret doing this. This is it."
You got to date one that isn't a stigma. But guess what? Stay away from the single moms. I still tell you guys now, because generally speaking, the majority, they have all of that baggage. I just so happen to be the exception to the rule, and so is my chick.
Stop the cap.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson. With another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Clock taking music. I normally do all of my celebrity junks on audio, mainly because I look so good and y'all will be hating on me if I come on camera.
Stop the cap.
But the no Fugazi thing has been getting me a lot of views, and it is Christmas time, and I am a grifter. My mama need a new blonde wig, so
so Abba's out here, getting his mom a new house with the fresh and fit money, and you got O'Shea Duke Jackson getting a new wig from his mom for a new Fugazi podcast. That's great. Oh, just in time for Christmas.
She can look like P. Diddy mama up in these streets. But let's get more to the point. Cooley fired back at me and Abba and Preach gunshots with the video called Cooley Fires Back with Receipts at Abba and Preach and O'Shea Duke Jackson. And there are a few things that, to be honest, he did get right. I do want to go ahead and say that. Let's go to his first point. His first point is this: the clip of tonight's conversation was edited, and when they put that clip out there, it was not the truth.
One-day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
You believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about what? 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year. And I'm black at that if you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math.
So you can, again, being 6'4", black, those are two things, and then making over 100K a year. That's the completion of like why he's considered a high value man. I think David Cooley said in his 3-hour video that was edited. He was saying when it comes to being considered a high value man, he never refers to himself. He never said that of himself. But he just, for some reason, he threw out that stat that, you know, only a certain percentage of men are over 6'4" or 6'4" and over. And, you know, and the fact that he's black, that's another bonus. I don't see what he's talking about there.
Got him! So that clip is the original clip that they put out there with the Tonight's Conversation. Here's the full clip that he says is the correct one.
So here's the full version of the clip, right? Let's go ahead and play that. That is the truth.
Okay, so since
I
we're
don't
speaking
care about going broke or none of that.
So since
You
we're speaking about,
believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
By what standard?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm
when I'm in a
interested to know.
relationship, I'm not speaking about myself, but
When I'm in a relationship, I'm not speaking about myself, but That
boy is good.
Now give Cooley a round of applause. Cooley has proven that tonight's conversation was being disingenuous. Here's the problem. That clip has nothing to do with why I am exposing your ass along with so many other YouTubers. See, you're trying to lie and say the reason why all this started is because of tonight's conversation, which is actually incorrect. It doesn't even matter about that clip, okay? You being a high value man or not, that's not important. The most important thing is you're disingenuous.
Why is everyone...
So Sonic says, damn, I respect the flow. LFMAO laughed my ass off. He didn't stutter. He didn't pause. Straight flowing in his monologue. Yeah, bro. That's one thing about David Cooley that you can say about himself is that he does flow good on the mic. Okay, he is well researched on these talking points, and yeah, so he has a good delivery. But that's about where it ends. Like none of these points that he can flow about are his own. These are all taken from Myron and other people. So I think he is a grifter.
A family channel with a Caucasian
Let's go back a little bit.
The most important thing is you're disingenuous. You have a family channel with a Caucasian baby mama that was a single mom of 2 white children, and a whole other channel hating on single moms and then talking about that as a disingenuous hypocrite.
And I think that's the thing that's why people view him as a hypocrite, because nobody knew him for his family channel. I mean, there was about 2 million people that did know him for that. I mean, I guess what I just said is not true. Okay. 2 million people did know about him and his relationship, but people that knew him for, you know, how he was popular and how they even knew anything about this guy was from his podcast. And the fact that he had these views about single moms and stuff, like people aren't going to delve into who you are and try to find like your Instagram account and try to, you know everything about you and stuff. They're just going to go off the clips that they see of you, and they're just going to engage with that. And I think that's where the majority of his audience went. I think if he led with, you know, like, I'm a family man, I am with a single mom that had, you know, with 2 children and stuff, I don't think people would have taken him seriously. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. That's the thing. Who's to know, because he didn't do it that way. So.
And I'm going to prove fully that you're a hypocrite tonight. Don't even worry about that.
That is the issue.
So whether you were on tonight's conversation or not would not be the issue. You still can't get away from that. Point number 2 is that he has always talked about the fact that he is in a relationship with a woman that is a single mom.
You're in the 18 percentile, like myself. I have full custody of my kid, right? Difference between me and you is I met my girl when we got together when we were 25. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes, we both had children. So he came into the relationship with children, but I was young and she was young. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't have to build on anything. We were kind of just young together, figuring things out.
And he's also going to talk about that he's not a hypocrite.
That ain't me. I don't stand for this, but then they go head out and do it. That's what a hypocrite is. Just want to let y'all know. That is true. We can all agree to that. So all of these podcasts that's making reactions to me, they saying that I'm hypocritical because they think that, oh, here's another red pill guy making talking points like all of these other podcasts.
So, to be fair to him, he has talked about it in the past. He has shown those clips as evidence. Here is the issue with the branding. When you go to his Instagram, the clips that are pinned to the top that get the most views are the ones in which he talks about women or even single moms. If he wanted to be loyal to the brand identity or the brand ethos, he could say in his Instagram description, I'm a father, a man dealing with a single mom that's giving his opinion on dating advice.
Yeah, the reason why he's not going to do that is because it's not going to sell as well. There's a lot of single guys that follow this guy for what he believes, and they're like, yeah, this guy, I believe in what he believes, you know. But when he's coming from a standpoint that, oh, this guy is already in a relationship with a single mom of 2 children, and they don't really look into the fact that he has children. They're just like, whoa, you know, they just look at that on the surface. They're like, wait a minute, how can you preach this thing about avoiding single moms when you're not doing that? So yeah, there's a little bit of hypocrisy there. Exo Charles, Andrew Wilson married a single mom, and people in the RP space still take him seriously. Yeah, man. Well, I think, you know, Andrew Wilson, he says that he, you know, from, you know, several podcasts, he said that, you know, he thinks that you know, the thing about being wealthy and stuff is being a family man and having, you know, that dynamic. That's what makes you wealthy, you know, giving yourself a purpose and having people that depend on you and love you and stuff. Like, that's what is, you know, his driving force in life. You know, it's not about trying to be like this playboy to have all this money and cars and stuff and all this wealth, because it's like, you know, that's kind of an empty existence. You know, you'll never fill up that hole with all the stuff that you can afford. You know, you're always going to want more. Whereas, you know, if you have a family, you have a wife that loves you, is devoted to you, that's the ultimate goal, man. And you have children, you know, people that are little mini versions of yourself, you know, that you get to mold and you get to, you know, show them right from wrong and teach them and be there for them and being able to, you know, give them advice and stuff. It's like, that's where life truly is like the sweetest, when you can have that type of effect. And, you know, but you know, that's the thing. That's the difference between being married and being, you know, a single guy out here. You know, it's like, you don't know what you're missing when you, are on the outside looking in. You know, it's like everybody has their own views, like, oh, I don't ever want to get married because I don't want to get chopped in half. But then there's guys who are like, look, I don't want to die alone. You know, so there's that 2 things, man. There's 2 things. Sonic says, do you think David Cooley can save his brand after this? What I said before on the last video was that what he's going to have to do is parse out his content and his talking points very carefully, because now that the word is out, he's going to get approached on this during his podcast, and I'm sure people in the comments have been freaking lighting him up. And so whether he has to address it or not, I mean, he's going to have to be doing a lot of mental gymnastics and answering to a lot of, you know, real questions. I don't think, I don't know, man. It's kind of up in the air. I think that people are gonna, you know, people that like didn't really know who he was until this scandal, they weren't gonna mess with him anyways. But the people that were part of his group, you know, that were still rocking with him, I think the fact that that this has come out, yeah, I'm sure he lost a few people, but I think there's also people that like are gonna rock with him no matter what. So whatever he did in that 3-hour podcast of how he responded to it, people were just like, okay, good. You know, he addressed it. We can move forward now. I think there's always going to be people like that. But no, I don't think that his brand is going to be as popular as it potentially was going to be until this was. Because dude, like I said, I didn't know anything about David Cooley, only about his new No Fugazi podcast. That's all I knew. I didn't know anything about his like Instagram and the couples content and stuff that he did, because that wasn't something that was brought to light. But now that that's been brought to light, it's like it really changes my whole perspective about him. It's just like, yeah, that'd be like me trying to go out there and try to do like a red pill thing when I'm a family man, and I'm like, I'm just trying to tell guys to, no, you guys gotta basically do this to do game. You gotta do this. It's like, bro, I'm not even part of that. Like, I would totally be a grifter if I tried to do that. That's why I'm like, I would never try to do that, because I would have to take somebody else's talk points and then put it in my own spin. And then just repackage it. I mean, that's what these guys are doing. And yeah, you can see it. You can see it from the outside looking in, man. And yeah, I would never, I would not be in the position to do that. And I know that, there is, I couldn't understand. I wouldn't want, that'd be so much work, man, to try to like bury all the stuff of, my personal life, and then just try to start a podcast where I'm just like, yeah, this is counter to what I believe in, but I'm going to go ahead and stand strong on this. And hopefully, I can get some fans and some new people to come to me and hopefully, take my advice, but no, I can only speak from my general perspective. And as a married guy, I can't even tell you, man, how you guys can get married, because my individual way, how I got married was completely my own. And I don't think anybody could ever do it the way that I did it, so I can't even write a playbook on how to do it. It's just, just be the right, I can't even say it. I can't even say like, yeah, be there, right place, right time, whatever. It's just like, there's no, I can't help you on that, man. I mean, hopefully just try to improve on yourself, try to improve your speech, try to dress nice, try to smell good, take care of your health, focus on your success, focus on your money and stuff like that. And yeah, hopefully it works out. But you also have to take that risk. You have to take that leap of faith in terms of, if you like someone and you want to pursue it, yeah, but don't like lead with your money, man. Like, don't try to impress somebody, just, I don't even see, that's the thing. I can't even tell you, man. I can't even tell you how to do it. It's just, I'm just happy that, there are people out there that have a thirst for this knowledge, but, you got to unplug from the internet, man, or if you do take advice from some of these, guys, don't take it with a grain of salt, because no one person has all the answers. I don't have all the answers, but just, just work on being the best person you can be, and the people that like you and you like them, it will work itself out. But I think, just don't lead with your money. Don't pay for box, because that's going to lead you down a whole different way of thinking about women, and it's going to make women in your mind be beneath you. And, I'm not saying go out and put women on pedestals, but I'm also saying don't think that women are beneath you, that are subhuman. It's like, just treat people the way you want to be treated, man. And that's pretty much all I got, man. That's all I got.
But he does not do that. The clips that you see on the No Fugazi podcast are marketed as somebody who would never deal with a single mother. Even though he may not have said that, if you were a new listener to the podcast, you would be like, oh, wow, this is information. This is great. And you would not even look for the information of who he's dealing with, because you don't care. You're only interacting with him, with that brand. For an example, the owner of the Miami Dolphins back in the day used to own Blockbuster Video. When you go to Blockbuster Video, you don't care that he owns the Miami Dolphins. It doesn't matter. It's the same owner with two different brands. And Cooley's brand with his, baby mama, their couples channel on TikTok, is completely different than the No Fugazi podcast. So if you interact with the No Fugazi podcast, his content is so different from this, which is a family man with a single mother of 2 white kids. It's different. And then if you're new to the podcast like I was, you're not gonna look and see all of the content, which is not my fault.
That's literally what I just said. Like, you're not going to look into the couple's Instagram channel. Like Myron. Myron has an Instagram couples channel with Angie, but like the fact is I still don't follow it. I don't keep up with it. I don't care about it. Like, I don't even care about the Fresh and Fit podcast. Like, I just watch these clips, whatever, that come out that are funny, and I like to bring it to you guys because I'm just like, look at these guys, man. But what he said about, you know, the No Fugazi podcast, people that are new to the content, they're just gonna stay. They're just gonna start there and stop there. They're not gonna really try to know everything about this guy's life. You know, they're just gonna look at his views that he says on this podcast because that's what is the more popular thing out of the two types of content that he does, and that's it. You know, there are people that, you know, are going to do the homework of, you know, figuring everything about him, but like people on the surface level, they're like, no, we're just going to listen to the podcast and then be done with it, move on to the next. And yeah, so that's exactly because I wasn't like a listener of the No Fugazi podcast. I just, you know, caught a couple clips here and there, and I was able to form an opinion just of, you know, a little bit that I saw, and then I watched a couple more episodes, and then this happened, and now it's like I know way too much now. And yeah, I mean, I do look at it as kind of hypocritical to hold these views and then also be doing the complete opposite of what you're preaching. So yeah,
he should have marketed himself like that. That's his problem. If he wanted to really be a man that was in the brand with a single mom, why didn't he put those kind of clips to the top? And I'll tell you, he would not do that because he know his credibility would have been shot. So he markets all the other clips that will make him get more followers, like talking bad on single moms and all of this other stuff, while, hey, burying the fact that, hey, listen, I'm actually worse than the guys that I'm talking about. Now let's get to the hypocritical point. That people who are hypocrites do one thing and live the other. That's what he said, right? But now, there has been a situation on his podcast where someone says, would you date a single mom? This is a direct question. What does David Cooley, aka Mr. No Fugazi podcast, say?
So when I see a single mom, right, I see a woman that made all the wrong choices and only prioritized how she feels. She's selfish.
Will you ever date a single mom?
What he say?
Will you ever? The girl said, "Will you ever date a single mom?"
What he say?
Listen to what he about to say. They literally said, because they don't know he's in a relationship with a white single mom. Watch this.
I mean, single moms need love too. They can get a little recreational use only sometimes.
Direct.
Yeah, see, that was a very vague answer, you know? Like the way that he said that didn't really answer the question, did it? It was just more of a generalized answer of, yeah, they could get it. They could get you know, some recreational use only. So I'm wondering if because, you know, apparently, I mean, he's been with his girl ever since he was 25. So I'm wondering if she saw that, you know, because I'm sure she didn't feel too good about him saying that.
Directly, he says, well, single moms are, you know, for recreational things, right? David, you actually lied again. You should have told those women who are probably single moms themselves that, hey, listen, I could take you in the back in booty clapping sounds and smack you up and wife you like I have done with this other lady. Because again, you're lying directly there on camera. You're not telling them like, hey, I'm in a relationship with a single mom myself. You want to know why? Because you're coming so hard down on them that their argument would directly be, well, how are you calling us bad for being a single mom? And you're doing the same thing. Exactly. That's why you won't respond to that. Now, here's his last point, that him and his single mother are outliers.
When you are a father, you got to be selfless. You got to think about, well, I got to find a woman that embodies some good moral characteristic traits like I do. I got to find a woman that comes from a two-parent household. I got to find a woman that's like the exception to the rule.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
So if you're going to date a single mom, you got to date one that isn't a stigma. But guess what? Stay away from.
To get started. Yeah, so he's about to say, just stay away from him. He's gonna. God, dude. The fact is, man, it's really tough for him to have these mental gymnastics and the whole. But you're dating a single mom anyway. That question is gonna keep coming up. Just the way like people approach Fresh with the whole Daisy Chen thing, like that is gonna keep haunting him. So. Yeah, I do think that his brand is never going to be the same after this because he's never going to be able to escape that question. Would you ever date a single mom? You know, he's going to have to keep saying the same thing over and over again.
Moms, I still tell you guys now, because generally speaking, the majority, they have all of that baggage. I just so happen to be the exception to the rule, and so is my chick.
All right, you guys heard that. He actually said him and his, significant other are exceptions to the rule. So because you guys are exceptions to the rule, it's okay for you to live a life of hypocrisy. My question is this: who said that you're the exception to the rule? Based on what? Is there a certain body of simps or a certain body of pimps, or what accredited body says that you're an exception to the rule?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, man. Like all of this is just him deeming it himself, It's like he can only put this out there, and the fact that people are holding him accountable for, he's like, well, I am the exception to the rule, so rules for thee, but not for me, okay? Or my chick, because she's an exception as well. It's just like, damn, bro, you determine that.
Again, this is your self-aggrandizing ass believing that you're better than somebody and thinking that you're higher than someone when you're not. You're actually not an exception to the rule. Everything you do is a grift. You steal Myron's content, you steal other people's content, and you try to come and package it around like it's yours. You're not an exception to anything, pal. You are a grifter. There's nothing that you do that's original. You want to say that as an argument so that you can continue to go out here and get people's money, living a life that completely contradicts the other brand that you have on your family channel. You're not an outlier, bro. You're not an exception to the rule. You're a scammer. That is the God's honest truth. And you've been exposed, and you're going to continue to be exposed. But I got something to tell you. I know you're mad, but it's not my fault. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy.
O'Shea Jackson, man, shout out to him. When he said that he's an outlier, he's not an outlier. He's just out here lying. That's what I think, man. So I think there's one more thing that I wanted to show. Where is it? I think Alpha Male. Where is it? I gotta find it. I gotta find it in my history of videos because it was. Let me go back. I think it was. Let me find it. Maybe it was back on here. Talking about they find me over. Oh yeah, followers. I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was the most current one about David Cooley. But let me go to my history. I think maybe it's here. No, let's see. I think the last one. Let's go back. Complete fraud. I think. Ooh, I think it was this one. Hold on. Yeah, we see. This is the. I think this is the one of the. This is the final piece of on David Cooley that we'll talk about, and then that will be the end of the stream. Let me make sure this is. I think this is it. I hope so.
Guru guy on the block is already getting.
So this is Poetic Flacco. He was on No Jumper. I think he was part of the No Jumper podcast, and this is his video on David Cooley. He had some good points in here, so we're just gonna go through it real quick.
Exposed, and he hasn't even had his 15 minutes of fame yet. His name is David Cooley from the No Fugazee podcast. At this point, this is like clockwork. These dudes usually spawn out of nowhere after discovering the method of giving girls drinks, getting them drunk on a podcast, agitating them with stupid questions. And once they start acting up, you kick them off the podcast, clip it up, and post it on TikTok. And once you do that enough time, you will get some type of notoriety from incels. And then that's usually the spark you need for a red pill career. But
there you go, guys. That's the formula, okay? Alcohol, girls, kickoff, clips, and then you're good. That's how you get popping in the whole red pill space. David Cooley, as he's discovered the formula, and Poetic Flacco just laid it all out for you guys. That's how you do it.
But then things usually go wrong once these dudes start feeling themselves and start thinking they're smart because they're talking to drunk girls on a podcast that they control. If they go outside of that podcast and echo chamber that they control and usually do collabs with other podcasts and try talking to logical adults and try to like spew the same stupid talking points, once they do that, the logical adults usually own them, make them look stupid, the clip go viral, and then that's usually the start of their downfall. And that's exactly what happened with David Cooley. He went on a particular podcast called Tonight Conversation. It's essentially like an adult forum where adults gather and have adult conversations that's like logical sometimes. Well, he went on trying to spew the same red pill, high value man nonsense and sort of got owned, exposed, and destroyed.
Modern day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
You believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about what? 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year, and I'm black at that if you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math.
Hold on, before we go, what's your math saying?
The conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you, I would never consider top tier. A top tier man is also a man that is extremely desirable by way of his character. A top tier man is a man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. Top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top tier man.
Okay, so this is where I'm starting to disagree with her. She is starting to go into the area of pedestalizing women and working in a manner where you do all your work, your hard work, to prop up the dreams of your woman. And I don't think that this is where I disagree with her as far as the whole top tier man thing.
Prioritizes a woman.
And with
but I
all
digress.
that stuff that you just said, that was just womanese talk.
Womanese is also 6'4", black, attractive. I don't know too many women in my circle who desire a 6'4" man still wearing braids.
Make no mistake about it, both these people are really dumb. One person believes a man's value or goal in life is to cater to a woman and make her dreams come true. And the other person practice saying womanese in a mirror for 4 hours thinking he discovered like this dope word only to get called a nerd and a dweeb on the podcast. Now, ever since that particular podcast, a lot of people have been sort of researching into David Cooley's past and trying to figure out, bruh, who is this guy and is he really who he says he is? And they found some inconsistencies where it's not really that big of a deal on the surface, but once you really take a look at his content, you start to realize like this dude is an absolute fraud based on the inconsistencies. So one thing for sure a lot of people have been calling out is his take on single mothers. He's calling them for recreational use only, how they're not valuable, they don't deserve high value men, they deserve less, etc., like the usual red pill talking points. This guy has been professing that up and down all on his channel.
Yeah, it makes you kind of think that, how Myron goes in on, his views about how women are, only good for a few things, and how, he goes home to Angie, and I'm sure Angie probably, she's getting the bag from Myron and getting the lifestyle without having to have sex with him or have a real relationship. She knows her role. She's like, look, I can just agree with what he says. I can just smile and nod and continue with these resources. And then you got David Cooley saying these same things about single moms and all this stuff. And then he has to go home to his girl, because it's not his wife yet, his girl, and I wonder if she gives him any type of pushback. It's very interesting, you wonder, how the dynamic actually works. If he's just like, look, I'm just playing a character. If both of these men, Myron and David Cooley, are saying, look, I'm just playing a character online, you guys know the real thing. You get the real me when I'm off screen. And maybe that's how they cope with it. But yeah. Oh, it's we know this guy. It's now you're a single mom guy. He's He's about to expose this guy.
And just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth. I'm 6'4", well over 100K a year, and I'm black. Single moms, recreational use only.
Recreational use only.
Not a single mom of two.
That's why he talked the way he talked.
Shout out Benny Ray for the investigative journalism.
As a single mother, do you believe you deserve a man in the top percentile?
He talked all this smack about single mothers, told his audience how single mothers are not to be dated, wifed up, or nothing like that. They're for recreational use only. Talk about how a man is dumb or stupid if he even entertains the aspect of wifing up a single mother. And then come to find out, bro, David Cooley is married to a single mama of two, right? Who had two.
He's not married. That's one thing he got wrong. Unfortunately, they've been together for a while, but yeah, he hasn't put a ring on it yet.
Kids before him, and he stepped in to be a stepdaddy. This is just pure hypocrisy. No way to really get around it at all. Now, he does offer some type of creative explanation, but nobody is really buying it. His own audience is in his YouTube comment section roasting him and telling him, yo, you got to speak on this. Use a fraud, use a fraud, use a fraud. Now, after about the 1,000th fraud comment, he finally decided he was going to do a live stream dedicated directly to this. And the live stream didn't make things much better.
Yo, welcome to No Fugazi Podcast.
This was the bit that he did at the beginning of the 3-hour podcast. He was basically like packing up his stuff and acting like this was the last show. I mean, I get the humor aspect of it because, you know, I'm a very humor-minded type person, but him leaning into this was very interesting to say.
Podcast, so still packing up. As you can see, it's gonna be the last show. And enjoy the intro for the last time, man. Once we come back, we're gonna. All right, we are back. Welcome to No Fugazi Podcast, ladies and gents. As you can see from the title, it says the end of No Fugazi Podcast, man. This is the end. This will be the last stream. You know, my podcast is called No Fugazi, and you know, it's been a lot of fugaziness going on, man. So time to give y'all the truth.
He's doing this really sneaky tactic where he's pretending like it's all a joke, it's all satire. You know, these people are losing their minds, they're reaching for no reason, right? So he makes a joke about it to cope with the fact that like his podcast may just be over. Like people can probably never respect his opinion again after this particular saga. And
That's literally what I'm saying. Like he's gonna be looked at as a hypocrite. People are gonna always be asking him that same question, that like, how can you say this about single moms when you're out here doing it yourself? And he's gonna have to, like, I know he's gonna get tired of answering to that, but it's just gonna be like people are just gonna keep asking him that same question. So yeah, it's like it is gonna tank his brand, obviously.
Scandal. And that he maybe have to put fries in the bag really soon. So he's making a joke out of it. However, like the real life consequences that's gonna come from not really being a credible voice anymore actually shows this is not a joke. And you know, he's probably stressing deep down inside. But he goes on and gives like a really dumb explanation as to why he's dating a single mother with 2 kids, but he told his audience that they shouldn't date single mother with 2 kids and that single mothers are for recreational purposes only. Now, check out his explanation as to why he can do it, but they can't.
So a hypocrite is someone that tells someone, yeah, I don't do this. That ain't me. I don't stand for this. But then they go ahead out and do it. That's what a hypocrite is. Just want to let y'all know. That is true. We can all agree to that.
David Cooley is so used to talking to drunk women from third world countries on his podcast that he thinks that we're all drunk women from third world countries who are just gonna go along and buy his BS. Like anybody with an IQ over 70 can spot exactly what he's getting to and meet him there before he gets there. Like this whole narrative that, oh, I'm not a hypocrite, I didn't lie because I never told y'all that I wasn't wifing up single mothers. I just told y'all that y'all shouldn't do it. That's not how that works, bruh. Like, if you're talking to your audience and you say, hey, bruh, don't drink, don't smoke, it's wrong, it's bad, or hey, bruh, I'm Muslim, you know, this is haram, that's haram, that's haram. it's implied that if you're Muslim and this is haram, that you are not doing it because you're Muslim. And if you're this red pill guru and you're out here telling your audience, never wife up single mothers, they are recreational, you know, they're to be played with, not taken seriously. Well, it's implied that you, the red pill guru, isn't wifing up single mothers, you know, giving them more babies, giving them half your stuff, and starting a life over with them. That's implied. So yes, you are still a hypocrite, even though you didn't tell them that you weren't doing it. You told them that they shouldn't do it while you were living that particular lifestyle you preach against. That's why you are a hypocrite.
And, you know, that whole statement right there is completely what I think about the whole Fresh and Fit podcast and how they're hypocrites in what they preach, because you got Walter over here saying that I don't pay for box. You know, I'm out here, you know, getting genuine desire, getting women's souls and stuff, when it's obvious that that's not the case. He obviously pays for box. And, you know, Myron across from him is telling him that, you know, you can't, you don't want to be the one paying for box. You don't want to be the one that are simping for women, because then that puts you in a spot where women will see you as a consumer. They treat you, you know, as like a fan, a person who's disposable, you know, like they'll never have genuine desire for you. And yeah, he says, don't lead with your wallets. And yet you got Walter over here leading with his wallet. And, you know, you got this guy here, Mr. David Cooley. He's, his whole defense is that I am the exception to the rule. So don't do as I do, just do as I say, because it will work out better for you. I know what I'm talking about because I'm speaking from experience. No, you can't say that, because you're doing the complete opposite of what you're speaking of. So you can't even say you're doing it from experience. So, fresh married a single mom. That's another truism. And he actually got that single mom pregnant with a second child, but then he talked her into getting the abortion. So yeah, she was one of the first ones who, you know, had to deal with that whole Hail Mary thing. And yeah, so that was that.
Now we got to speak about myself, right? So let's go to it. So I met like I just said, when I was 25 years old, we met. I had a kid, full custody. And when you are a single father, it's much different. Like in this space, we speak about, you know, the manosphere, like / red pill type conversations. We always speak about mitigating risk, like coming from a mitigating risk standpoint, like, okay, stuff like that. So it's more from like a selfish standpoint when we're speaking. But when you're a father, you have to be selfless, because I had a daughter that I can't be selfish. So I can't be like, man, let me get, you know, the chick with 000 baggage. I'm just looking at those things and all of this, but I'm not really worried about the values and all of that. But when you are a father, you got to be selfless. And you got to think about, well, I got to find a woman that embodies some good moral characteristic traits like I do. I got to find a woman that comes from a 2-parent household. I got to find a woman that's like the exception to the rule. Because I'll tell you,
this is some really shameful stuff, man. He's passing the blame up to his kid. He's saying, listen, man, I could have been selfish. I could have gotten a woman that I told y'all to get. I could have stayed away from the single mama with multiple kids like I told y'all to stay away from. But I had to make the sacrifice, man. I had to settle down with the mom of 2 kids because I had to think about my daughter.
Yeah, that's the point that he kind of lost me on that. I think you would want to have a good environment for your child, whether it was a son or a daughter. But I don't know, man. I think you can find, I think it goes back to what I said last episode, man. Having 2 sets of children on her side and on your side, I don't think there's going to be, different rules, you know, like I don't think you'll be able to talk to your wife's, your girl's kids like you talk to your own child. It's not about like even hitting kids or anything like that, but just being able to have that same type of discipline type structure, you're not going to have it across the board. It's going to be different rules for them and different rules for your own kid. And it's messy. It's just like, it doesn't work. You know, it's like you'd have to check in with your woman about their kids and stuff, and then defer to her. So yeah. Exo Charles, what do you think about the Destiny leaks? I have not seen anything about that actually. I did see the Reddit post, but I haven't looked about that. We'll probably talk about that next time, because I've just been totally focused on this whole David Cooley fresh and fit thing. But yeah, I think that might be something we'll have to look into in the future, because I mean, I know Destiny was catching a lot of hell for, Melina and, her new guy, the discount Flash guy, Ezra Miller guy. But yeah, I haven't really kept up with Destiny in terms of like what's going on with him. I know he was speaking a lot about like Hamas and the whole Gaza thing, and I know that he was following the whole presidential debates and everything, but I didn't see anything about the whole Destiny leaks. I haven't really looked into it. I know of it, but I haven't looked into it. So we'll have to talk probably about that next time.
This was the only woman I could find who would be a great mother to my kid, so I settled down with her. It's as if the red pill guru forgot like what they preach. Like, aren't the high value men like you, David Cooley, like the 6'4" who make six figures according to you, don't like the high value 10% of men have access to like 99.9% of women according to y'all statistics that y'all sort of pull out of y'all behind? If that's the case, bro, like you couldn't find a woman with no kids who met those values. Like, the bar is really low. Good values in a 2-parent household. You couldn't find a woman with no kids who fit that criteria. You telling me you had to settle with the mom of 2 kids because like that's the only woman you could find to meet that criteria? And apparently like all the single mamas that your audience wifed up, well, they're wrong for wifing them up, but your woman is somewhat magically the exception to the rule.
When you're a single father,
what's interesting is that he says that he's met his girl when they were 25, so that was pre-podcast. So it means that he had to study the Fresh and Fit podcast and other red pill guru talking points, whatever, in order to start his podcast. So yeah, it just, he started off completely on the wrong foot. He was already in this relationship, and then he moved forward with this No Fugazi podcast and having pretty much the same parodied views as Myron. Whereas, Myron, say what you want about him being, a racist, possibly homosexual, that he has already had these points about single moms and how to stay away from them because they bring all types of trouble, and they're for recreational use only. That is the point that he has taken from him, and it's like you don't really have the feet to stand on to say something like that, doing to your current living situation.
Women that don't have kids don't necessarily understand the obligations that come with having kids. You get it? They don't understand the obligations that comes with having kids. So for my situation, and for a lot of guys, I mean, if you can get a woman that is the exception to the rule, where she's not a single mom because she got knocked up, or she had some one-night stands, or she has a whole lot of tattoos, like she has all of these other red flags and she's a single mom, is like, God dang, what's going on? Because we know the stigma around single moms. So if you're going to date a single mom, you got to date one that isn't a stigma. But guess what? Stay away from the single moms. I still tell you guys now, because generally speaking, the majority, they have all of that baggage. I just so happen to be the exception to the rule, and so is my chick.
You can go through his comment section and see his audience isn't buying it, not one bit. You'll be hard-pressed to find a positive comment, bro. Like, look at this, bro. He turned it into a joke to make himself feel good about the situation. Accountability is everything a man, bro. A true goofball podcast. Bro, people is roasting this dude, bro. Like, his audience is turning against him. They're not buying the excuses. And this, like, I'm the exception, isn't really, like, boding too well over with people.
He's gonna need to change the podcast name to just Fugazi. Just drop off the no part and just do Fugazi podcast, and that might be the right direction to rebrand. He might just lean into that and be like, "Look, man, you know, like I just think that the only way to really combat these people that are coming at me is just to lean into the Fugazi part." You know, they're saying I'm a fake, that I'm a phony. Hell, here's the phony podcast for you guys. You know, let's see if y'all will still tune into that. Oh man.
All right, reeks of hypocrisy, dude. All right, he basically just said I'm different. My situation is different. That's what, bro. People ain't buying this, yo. Like, yo, people is like pretty much calling him a hypocrite. Yo, I don't know where you're gonna go from here, bro. But this is really bad. I just happen to be the exception, and so is my chick. So I could date the single mama with 2 kids because I'm David Cooley. I'm 6'4", high value man, 6 figures. I'm God's gift. So I could date the single mother, and my single mother with 2 kids. Oh, she's different from the other single mothers. So you won't ever find a woman like mine, and you're not me. So you can't date single mothers. So my advice is still valid.
Remember when Fresh said that Miranda was the exception? She was different from all the other Miami girls because she hadn't been tainted. It almost goes back to that. It's like, just do as I do, do as I say, not as I do, you know? And yeah, it's like these guys, they can't look beyond themselves on how they're hypocrites. It's yeah. Cabo says, what's the deal with the whole Destiny thing? I heard about it, but I don't know much about what happened. Yeah, like I said, man, I'm going to do some research into the whole Destiny thing. And I really, yeah, Exo Charles, you got me wanting to think about it now. So maybe next episode we can dive into that, because I'm not too familiar right now.
Because, well, you're not me, and she's not like the other single mother. Yo, you guys have lost your mind, bro. Like, and this is why a lot of people really don't take the red pill seriously anymore, because there's really no foundation to this, bro. Like, it all just seems like a grift. They're making up rules on the spot, and it really has went from an ideology to just pure entertainment at this point, bro.
Even was it the godfather of the red pill, Rollo Tomasi? I mean, the fact that he's been married for damn near 30 years. You know, people don't take him seriously because of how he will speak about, you know, male and female dynamics and stuff. It's like, you know, they don't think that he's qualified to speak about the dating marketplace because he's been out of it for 30 years. He has no idea, you know, about the current landscape and how it is. So it goes all the way back to him. You know, he's like, you know, but, you know, he has these hardcore followers that, you know, believe him and everything that he stands for. But, you know, people looked at him as like a hypocrite. So, yeah, man. And you got Myron and Fresh that they definitely, off camera, they get exposed all the time for things that they don't stand for. That, you know, that like, look, okay, you say that you, Myron will say, okay, my girl needs to stay at home. You know, she only goes out when I say for her to go out and all this stuff. When you don't see that at all, you see that Angie is going out on these girls' nights. She's having like, just going out with her friends that are guys and girls. And yeah, I mean, she's doing all this stuff that, you know, Myron's like, no, you got to have your girl doesn't leave the house, you know, like she's just this. But it's just like, it makes sense that they have an arrangement, you know, and she's supposed to make him look good. But these little things are slipping out where it's like, whoa, you know, if somebody needs to address Myron on this, you know, it's like, what? But then, you know, Myron, I think, has these markers set in place for any type of argument that comes at him. He's like, yo, it's under my authority. So, you know, I said she could go out. It's under my authority. She could wear a thong that shows off her backside and take pictures and stuff. That's under my authority. But yeah. Let's see. Malkova says it goes much farther than Rollo. Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's just somebody at the top of my head. I mean, he's one of the pillars of the red pill, and just, you know, going off of what Poetic Flacco said and how the red pill is now seen as a joke and it's dying. I think it's true. I think there are people that are starting to realize that it's all a grift, man. And people are starting to realize that these people don't really live in reality. They're just saying whatever it takes and being as provocative as they can be in order to get, clicks and people to follow them. Because they say outlandish things that a lot of us that live in the real world would be like, bro, like I would never say that about women. Not only because not because I think women are better than me or that I'm over them and stuff. It's just like we just have we all have decency, and I think that's something that the people that are in these red pill spaces, they're just trying to be as outlandish as possible, so that people that are not in relationships, they're like, wow, this is how it really is, man. They're eating it all up, and people that haven't been outside, they don't know what it's like, so they're just downloading all this rhetoric, and it's having people live in kind of like a fear-based mentality. Women are going out there just trying to get what they can out of men because they're going in with their guards up because they're like, I want to be able to have my own thing, because if he leaves me, it's that fear mentality. And then men are like not wanting to marry women because they're like, no, I don't want her to take everything I got. So yeah, it's like both groups of people that are getting together, they're moving in this like fear-based mindset, and it's all because of these red pill guys. They put it out there that, hey man, it's like you got to make sure that you're always on your square and you're not going to let a girl dictate your life and all this stuff. And then the women are having this view that all men are trash, all men are cheaters, so you need to get what you can out of each one of these guys. And some women are even like, hey, you need to have a roster as well. If a guy's going to go out and have a roster of women, you need to do it too. So it's like, dude, the dating landscape today is fucked, man. And I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that shit. I feel sorry for anybody that is out there right now. But again, this could be concentrated to just certain areas of the country, and you get a little bit out further from the Miami and LA and all that stuff like that, and you get into like a little bit more normal people, and you get people that are just living normal lives. People are making they're surviving on like 30 to 50K a year. They're having families, and it's just like it's all fine. It's just like. We tune into this stuff because it's like the freak show. People are just have all these extreme ideas and extreme points, and it's like, yeah, we can't relate, but it's entertaining to watch at the end of the day.
Like at some point, the manosphere and the red pill movement were dudes who were like arguing ideas. At this point, bro, we know what this is, but this is just a grift, bro. Bring girls on, get them drunk, get them belligerent, instigate a confrontation, kick them out, clip it up, and post it online, bruh. That's just what the red pill space is about, bruh. This male improvement, alpha male strategies. Well, sorry, not the creator alpha male strategies, but like the niche alpha male strategies. Like all of this, bruh, is just like nonsense, man. And if you're still believing this, bruh, good luck to you, man. But I'm sure David Cooley won't be the last, all right? I'm sure, in about 2 months, there'll be another red pill dude who gets hot, then he collabs with other podcasts, gets destroyed, gets exposed, and then rinse and repeat, and we'll be back making a video about that guy.
Oh man, I mean that's literally the cycle. I mean, think of all the people that rose to prominence and now are no longer taken seriously. You got Kevin Samuels, who rose and he passed, but his channel is still going. They're still releasing content, but a lot of it's just like reclipped shows. And then you got Donovan Sharp, who is now out of the game. You got Pearl Davis, who tried her hand at grifting and now lost everything. And I think the next ones to go out is going to be Fresh and Fit. They had a long run, but I think Fresh Fit are going to be on their way out. And then, this David Cooley guy, he's kind of already, the domino is set to fall. That's pretty much where it's going to go. But that's all I got for you guys tonight, man. That was that's the show. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to show you. I want to make sure that there wasn't anything that I missed. I think that was pretty much it. Oh, there's one little thing I wanted to show you. So Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg is against Trump, and she said Whoopi Goldberg is now on sex strike. Her vagina is now closed. Sorry, guys. I saw this, I was like, what the hell? But yeah. That's our loss, guys. Whoopi Goldberg, her vagina is closed. Crazy shit. But yeah, that's it, man. I think there's nothing else I got for you. I think that's all. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. XO Charles says, I'm preparing my popcorn for when the FNF break up. It's gonna be a good drama. Oh, bro, it's gonna be a video for the ages, man. And you know, I'm pretty sure all of the main people that talk about them, which would be Abin Preach. You got what's his face? Fuck, my brain is gone right now. What's his name? Well, shit. Who is it? Oh my god, my brain. Who is it? My brain's gone. Let me think. Who is it? Who are the people that I was thinking about? Go to the oh, Duke the Don. That's who's gonna be. He's definitely doing videos, and then everybody else will be doing videos. My whole goal, hopefully, is to get the book out while they're still together, and or possibly release it on the day that they break up. I don't know. It's all gonna be about timing on that. You know, people are gonna want to know. But yeah. Other than that, guys, I got nothing else for you. I hope you guys have a good night. Sonic, have a good night, brother. That was fun, man. Thanks again for another show. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Hey, we made it to almost 4 hours. We're at 3:49. So not bad, guys. Not bad at all. Thank you to everybody who watched the video. And if you guys would like to see more of this content, make sure you subscribe, and I will be coming out with another video next week, and we'll be covering more about the Red Pill downfall, and we'll be probably talking a little bit more about Destiny and all the other stories to come. So that's all I got. I hope you guys have a great evening, and I will see you guys on the next one. You guys have a good night. Have a good weekend. Oh, and happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys that are celebrating. Thank you so much. Take care.